Hi, welcome back guys. This is your friend, the fanfic guy. Back with amazing fanfiction. This is the series of What if Deku gets access to the Omnitrix? Now before starting, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Now let's get into the fanfic. It all started when I was 4 years old. It was July 15th, my birthday. I was very excited that I may get a quirk today. After all, Kaken got his quirk yesterday. It was so cool. Mom. Today is the day. Izuku, happy birthday my son. When are we going to the doctor? After lunch. I got into the car as fast as I could. Izuku, wait for me, my mom Inko yelled. I will get a cool quirk and become the #1 hero like All Might. Then when we reached the doctor's clinic, my whole life went downhill. Sorry kid, but you don't have a quirk, the doctor said. What do you mean? Mom said. There is a joint missing in his pinky toe because of which he won't develop a quirks, he explained. Later in the house, I saw All Might's video of him saving people. When Mom came to me and said words which still feel like daggers to my heart, I'm sorry Izuku, I wish things could be different, while sobbing. I was heartbroken. Soon word broke out that I don't have a quirk, i.e., I was quirkless. My so-called friend Kaken started bullying me and abusing me. Time skip, 1 year later. I just reached the park to play when I saw Kaken bullying someone. I went a little close and saw that it was a girl. Hey ponytail. What is quirk? Kaken asked. I can create any non-living object from my body, but for that I have to eat a lot. So like poop. Haha. She started crying. My body started moving on its own. Kaken, I told you to not bully others. Shut up useless Deku. Get out of here. No. Okay then I'll hit you instead. He sent a little explosion in my way which I couldn't dodge and was hit. After that Kaken went away. I turned to see if the girl was okay. I noticed that she had raven hair in a spiky ponytail, onyx eyes and a pretty face. Are you okay? I asked her while stretching out my arm to help her up. What she did next shut my brain. She hugged me and then planted a kiss on my cheek. Thank you my savior. My face started blushing 25 shades of red. What is your name? Mine is Izuku Midoriya but call me Izuku. My name is Momo Yaoyorozu but you can call me Momo. And BW, are you alright? A few scratches? She started making bandages using her quirk and applying on my bruises. Here. Thanks Momo. So do you want to play? Sure. I was happy that I finally got a friend but universe hated me and when I went to park 1 week later, I saw Momo sobbing. Momo, are you alright? Why are you crying? Because sob of my dad's work sob I have to move from here and you are my only friend sob. I see. But Momo never frown, always smile. What do you mean? Here, you take this, I said while giving her an All Might figurine. Take this as a reminder of me. And don't worry I'll find you in the future and we'll meet again. I smiled at her. Kind of like this. Then you take this, she created something using her quirk and passed me a key ring which had her face on it. Kind of like this. Then came a voice from somewhere, Momo. Where are you? Come let's go, it's time. I'll never forget you Izuku. And I'll never forget you Momo. Goodbye. Bye. After she went, I clutched the keyring hard in my hand and went home. 10 years later. It was a normal day of middle school. I reached class and teacher came in with a stack of career choice papers. I was going to hand in these papers but who I am kidding, you all want to be heroes, the teacher said. Everyone started showing off their quirks. Hey teach don't lump me with these extras, I'm going to be the new #1. Everyone glared at him. Abba Kugo, if I'm correct, you have applied to U.A, the teacher replied. That's right, I'm going to be the only one from this school to go to U.A. And Midoriya, you have also applied to U.A, correct? Teacher asked. Oh you useless Deku, how is a quirkless nobody like you going to enter in U.A? I ignored him but others started laughing. Class got over, I was ready to go when Kaken stopped me. You are not going to get in U.A, and what is this? Hero analysis peak. He then burned it and threw it out of the window. I tried hard to fight back tears. This was my life. Every day, Kaken and his posse bullied me. Do everyone a favor and take a swan dive off the roof. Maybe you'll get lucky and get a quirk in your next life. Surprisingly, he didn't hit me and left. I thought about it. I am a worthless, useless, nobody who has no friends. Maybe I should do it. My body got compelled. I walked up the stairs to the roof of the school. I walked to the edge. I was about to walk off, but then I realized what I was doing. Oh my God. What did I just try to do? Izuku no. Think about what would have happened to Mom. Thankfully, I turned back and got my stuff from class. I went down and found my notebook on the ground. I picked it up and saw it was slightly burnt, but I could still read it. I sighed in relief and started to go home. I took a different route than usual and was in a tunnel when a sludge thing came from the sewer. You would be a perfect body to capture. Be still and it won't hurt as much. His liquidy body started going inside my mouth. I was suffocating. I couldn't breathe. I thought this was the end. Oh well, I am sorry Mom, I couldn't be a better son. I started to black out when suddenly, I am here. I saw All Might. Sorry, I'm a bit late. The sewer system is hard to navigate. Leave the kid alone, villain. Ah, no, replied the villain. Well then, don't say I didn't warn ya. Texas Maez, he yelled while punching the sludge villain. Young one, are you okay? He said while accidentally coughing some blood. Oh no, my limit is up, All Might thought. All Might yes, I'm okay. Then I'll get going, he said when he put the sludge villain in a bottle. All Might W8. I shouted while grabbing on his leg. What is this thing on my leg? All Might thought, and when he turned his face down he saw the young boy. Child, are you mad? Leave my leg please. If I leave it, I'm gonna fall and die. Good point, I'll land on the nearest building, he said while landing on the roof of a building. All Might W8, I wanted to ask you 2 questions. Go ahead fanboy. First, will you sign an autograph for me? Ha, obviously young. Midoriya, Izuku Midoriya. And what was your second question? Cough cough, oh no, before Toshinori, All Might, realized, smoke coming out of him and he was back to his true form. Who are you? Where is All Might? Don't worry kid, I'm Toshinori Yagi and I'm All Might's. He then went and explained his injury. I expect you to not post about my injury online. Assure All Might I want. Ah, and what was your second question? I wanted to ask you, that even though I am quirkless, can I become a hero like you? Kid, I won't lie to you and say that you can become a hero. But you can become a policeman, he said as he started walking. Ah well, I'll return the villain to the police. Wait, what was that explosion? All Might checked his pocket and didn't find a bottle. Shit. I was even more heartbroken and was walking home when I heard an explosion. I went to check it out and it turned out, a villain was taking a student as a hostage and none of the heroes were doing anything. I looked to see who it was and found those similar red eyes staring at me helplessly. Again, without T-King, my legs moved on their own and I went to help him. You again, yelled the villain. I poked it in the eye and was trying to free Kaken. My. This boy is something else entirely. Maybe I have found my successor. But I don't. No, I'll keep searching. But for now, I have to do something, thought Toshinori. I was trying to free Kaken when I heard a familiar voice. Dietrich Smash. And so Kaken was rescued and I got a scolding from Kamui Woods and Death Arms. On my way to home, Kaken suddenly came from nowhere. Oi Deku, I didn't need your help and I won't ever need your help. With that he ran away. I returned home and found Mom crying. Izuku, thank God you are okay, and crushed me by hugging me. Mom, I can't breathe. That night I realized that I had to train if I ever wanted to get into UA. I made a plan that day that I'll exercise and train my body every day. That night, I prayed to God that something could be different and that I could get into UA. Little did I know that God was actually listening. The next day, Izuku woke up very early and made a training schedule. Wake up, train, go to school, train, do homework, sleep. Well, that was easy, now the difficult part comes to follow it, thought Izuku. When he came back from school, he went home for lunch. Mom, after lunch I'm gonna go and train so that I can become a hero, yelled Izuku in excitement. Sure Izuku, but please take care of yourself, Inko replied. I shattered his dreams when he was little. I'm not going to make the same mistake again, she thought. Maybe I'll go to Dagoba Beach to train. Yeah, I'll go there, thought Izuku. When he arrived there, he saw that it was a dump. Why not clean this beach? Yeah, I will clean this beach, which will in turn be my training. He slowly started picking some stuff up, but he could only pick up very small stuff, but he didn't lose hope. It was starting to get late, so he thought of going home. As he started walking back, he tripped on something stuck in the sand. What is this? He looked closely and saw something like a wristwatch. It was stopped. He picked it up and then something strange happened that Izuku couldn't have imagined it ever happening. The watch started moving and made its way to Izuku's hand. He felt immense pain in his right hand. He started screaming. After 2 minutes, the pain subsided. What the hell was that? He saw that the watch was now on his wrist and it was showing the correct time. How? It wasn't working a minute ago. I better go home fast as it's getting late, and I'll also see what the heck this watch is all about. Mom, I am home. Ah, Izuku, the dinner is set on the table. Thanks, Mom, you are the best. After finishing dinner, Izuku ran to his room and looked at his watch. It is showing this. You fool, it's a watch, of course it will show time. I started to rotate the watch, A/N, how to put it except rotating the watch. A weird creature type showed up and the watch started to come out of the wristband. He pushed it down and he felt his body change. What is happening? After a few seconds, he felt that the change is over. He went to look at himself in the mirror and screamed, "Hey. Izuku, are you okay? Mom, what has happened to me? Who are you? Where's my Izuku? Mom, it's me. Is Koku? Izuku?" she asked while hugging me. Yes, Mom, I think my quirk finally came. Inko couldn't help herself and started crying. I can finally be a hero. My baby. After 5 minutes of hugging and crying, Inko left. Izuku was left with his thoughts. Now how do I go back? Hey kid. Izuku, who are you? Where are you? My name is Ben Tennyson and I am inside your mind. Izuku, inside my mind? Ben? Yeah kid, since you used the Omnitrix, you woke me up. It's been centuries since I woke up. Izuku, Omnitrix? Ben, this watch is called as Omnitrix. It transforms you into 10 different aliens. Izuku 10. Ben, yeah, this one alien is known as Diamond Head. Oh, and by the way, it'll tell you my story and then explain you all the aliens. I was the first user of this watch. But as this watch was stuck to my hand, it couldn't be removed easily. An octopus alien named Vilgax wanted it from me. Long story short, in our legendary battle, we both were ended. Izuku, oh, I'm sorry. Ben, it's all cool. Now to explain you all the 10 aliens. Izuku, wait, before that, how do I go back to normal? Ben, there are 2 ways. First, there is a time limit of 10 minutes which you can increase by immense training. Second, on your chest, you will see the logo of Omnitrix. Just press it. With that, Izuku pressed the logo and returned to normal. Ben, okay, so this alien which you just transformed into is known as Diamond Head. Diamond Head's body is composed of extremely thick organic green crystals. He has the ability to manipulate the atomic structure of his physiology at will, allowing him to form his limbs into diamond weapons such as blades and bludgeons. Moreover, he can control all the crystals he generates. He can fire crystal shards sequentially out of his hands and can explode his body parts into crystalline formations, as well as make crystal constructs grow from his body. Diamond Head's body is composed of extremely thick organic green crystals. He has the ability to manipulate the atomic structure of his physiology at will, allowing him to form his limbs into diamond weapons such as blades and bludgeons. Moreover, he can control all the crystals he generates. He can fire crystal shards sequentially out of his hands and can explode his body parts into crystalline formations as well as make crystal constructs grow from his body. Izuku, so cool. Ben, wait and see what the others can do. The second one is called Heat Blast. Heat Blast is a pyrokinetic, meaning he has the ability to generate and manipulate intense heat and fire from his body. He can form fire into any shape that he chooses, commonly fireballs. He can also enhance the fire in his hands for flaming punches and can breathe fire like a dragon. To top it all off, he can even absorb heat and fire at the same time. The third one is called Wildmutt. Wildmutt's main ability is his sense of smell. As he has no eyes, his vision is made up of a dull 3D mapping of where his senses originate, similar to a thermograph. Combined with his enhanced hearing, his senses take the form of a radar or sonar, allowing him to still perceive his environment more clearly. His enhanced speed and reaction time allows him to dodge, evade, and counterattack effortlessly with the help of his senses. He also has enhanced strength, though I doubt you'll be using this as much as the others. So, the fourth one is called XLR8. XLR8 can manipulate friction to reach speeds of 500 miles per hour within 2 seconds. XLR8 can accelerate so quickly that time appears to completely stop to him, allowing him to change the positions of things around him while they are moving. The fifth one is called Gray Matter. Gray Matter's small size belies his great calculative and technical intellect. He can create complicated machines from spare parts, understand the function of any device at a glance, and make sophisticated repairs to complex machines. His IQ is more than Einstein. The sixth one is called Four Arms. Four Arms' most prominent ability is his enhanced strength, being able to lift several times his own weight and punch through various resilient materials with ease. The seventh one is Stinkfly. Stinkfly possesses 4 insectoid wings that allow quick and agile flying and can change directions at exceptional paces. Stinkfly can excrete high-pressured streams of liquid from the pollen ducts located inside of his eye stalks and mouth. These liquids can be both a flammable toxin or an immobilizing adhesive, enough for him to swing from it by his mouth. His slime is also capable of putting out fires. The eighth one is called Ripjaw's. Ripjaw's main ability is to breathe underwater and swim at high speeds with amazing agility. He has great endurance and can withstand strong water pressure, meaning he possesses the nature of abyssal aquatic life, hence his blank eyes and the anglerfish light in his forehead. The ninth one is called Upgrade. Boy, this is the coolest one. Upgrade is not completely solid, as he can be both liquid and gelatinous. Upgrade can use his internal nanotechnology to merge with and possess any technology by encasing himself over it. The size of the device is not significant and he controls it as naturally as he would his own body. When he merges, he upgrades the technology, making the technology he possesses far more advanced and futuristic, causing new features to form. After he unmerges with a machine, it returns to normal. The last one is called Ghost Freak. Oof still gives bad memories. But this is a strong one too. Be careful and try to control it. Hopefully you won't have to be careful as I handled this alien long ago. Ghost Freak's powers are flight, levitation, phasing through solid matter, intangibility, invisibility, and body possession. Ghost Freak is able to possess the bodies of his enemies and control their movements to the point where he can cause them to fly like himself, allowing him to freely slam them against walls or hit themselves. He can also access the abilities of other beings that possess superpowers. So you can basically just control the other person. Though I advise using this as a last resort. Well, that's it, Izuku, and I think it's time to sleep now. We will continue training tomorrow. Izuku, no way. I need new notebooks so I can fill them up with all this information. Ben, as you wish, but tomorrow you need to train hard. And due to Ben teaching him some social skills, Izuku's stuttering is tending towards 0. Izuku woke up and saw that he still had the watch on his arms. So it wasn't a dream. Obviously it wasn't a dream. Oh hey Ben. Hey. By the way, I forgot to tell you something yesterday. Omnitrix is now attached to you. You cannot take it off and no one else can. They will have to end you. And also I was looking through your memories yesterday. Wanna go and end that Katsuki kid? No Ben, I'm not one for revenge. I will ignore them and not show them my power because I want to shock Bakugo when I get into U.A and prove that idiot wrong. Okay then, let's go to school and then start training after that. 1 month into training. The beach was looking a little cleaner and Izuku's body was starting to get muscular. Ben was also teaching Izuku social skills. 2 months into training. His tries to increase the time limit for the Omnitrix failed. He also meditated to move on from his horrible past. 3 months into training. Izuku's body became more muscular. Time limit still couldn't increase. 4 months into training. The beach became a lot cleaner. There were only a few scraps of heap left. Izuku was also practicing various forms of martial arts. 5 months into training. Momo. Come on, we are going back to Mustafu because it's closer to Udata. Coming, Dad, just wait, I have to pick this last thing, Momo replied before picking up the All Might figurine. Why do you still have that? Asked Momo's mom. It's precious to me. Now let's go. Toshinori was picking up groceries and was on his way back to home when he heard someone screaming at the top of their lungs. He ran fast to the place and saw that it was a boy screaming while standing on top of heaps of garbage inside the garbage truck. Green hair, similar body structure, could it be young Midoriya? And could it be that perhaps he cleaned all of the beach? He changed into his buff form and went towards him. Young Midoriya, is that you? Izuku turned behind to see All Might. All Might, what are you doing here? What would he want from me? Does he know about Omnitrix? Oh no, I am in trouble? Am I getting arrested? What about Mom? Mutter. Young Midoriya, please stop muttering, and did you clean this beach yourself? Why yes sir. I am proud of you and I also have an offer for you. Young Midoriya, my quirk is called as One for All. It's a sacred torch passed from generation to generation, and now I ask you to become my successor and become the next symbol of peace. A One for All? All Might coughed blood and changed into Small Might. Yes, it's a quirk which is a mixture of two quirks. One is a stockpile quirk and other is a quirk to pass the quirk to others. And so I ask you, will you inherit my quirk? Are you serious, All Might? Ah, kid, that look on your face. Just accept it, Izuku. We will be the most powerful hero of all time. All Might, I accept. Attaboy. Now, young Midoriya, lift your shirt. I want to see if your body is suitable for OFA or else you might explode. Explode? Izuku said as he pulled up his shirt. Your body is a suitable vessel, but it still needs a lot of training. So young Midoriya, eat this. All Might, back in his buff form, said while handing Izuku a hair. To inherit this quirk, you need a piece of my DNA. Okay, I guess. Izuku ate the hair and made a disgusting face as he felt the hair to be salty. I don't feel any different. Don't worry, it will take 3 to 4 hours for your digestive system to fully digest the hair, said Small Might. By the way, All Might, I want to show you something. Izuku, are you sure telling him is safe? Yeah, I think we can trust him. And then Izuku, using Omnitrix, transformed into 4 arms. Why, young Midoriya? I thought you were quirkless? Oh, I am quirkless. It's just this watch, pressing the Omnitrix logo on his chest and transforming back to human. Then Izuku proceeded to tell All Might about Omnitrix, but not about Ben. This watch sure seems extraterrestrial. All Might, please don't tell anyone. I don't want to be tested on, as this watch can't be separated from me now. Don't worry, Midoriya, this secret is safe with me. Oh, and BTW, you are trying to get into Udata, right? Yes, sir. I have been training for the last 5 months, and the coming 5 months I will have to train OFA as well. Young Midoriya, here have my number, and we'll train together starting from tomorrow. As Izuku was walking back home, he was deep in his thoughts. Oh my god, I have All Might's number. I can't believe it. I am going to train with him. Izuku, please shut up. You are giving me a headache and I don't even have a head. The next day, Izuku met All Might on the beach. So All Might dash. Please call me Toshinori when we are in public. Okay, so I was asking how to use OFA. Get in a fighting stance, clench your butt cheeks and yell "Smash." That was the worst instruction ever. Izuku's sweat dropped. He tried to yell "smash" in the air. He was successful but not really. His move created shockwaves of air but his arm broke. Young Midoriya, are you okay? No, my arm is broken. All Might called in Recovery Girl, who fixed Izuku. Oh my god, you are Recovery Girl. Your quirk is so useful, mutter. All Might patted his head to get him back to reality. Izuku tried 4 to 5 times more but only with his fingers, but broke all of them. Recovery Girl hit him with her cane and told her that Izuku had to rest for the day. They both thanked Recovery Girl and she went. Toshinori saw how Izuku was feeling and tried to bring his spirits up. Don't worry, young Midoriya, you will get it in time. It took me 3 years to even master it. 1 week of painful injuries later. Inside home, Izuku was putting butter on his bread. Inko saw him and told him, "Spread the butter evenly, not only in one place, Izuku." He did as he was told. At night, he was still thinking how to use OFA without hurting himself. He remembered his mother's words. "Oh my god, I get it." He called All Might without thinking anything. "Izuku, why are you calling me at 2 a.m. in the night?" "All Might, I get it, mutter mutter mutter." Izuku take deep breaths and tell me. Izuku inhaled and exhaled and then finally said, "I am butter." "Go to sleep, Izuku." "No, wait, All Might, my bad, it was a bad choice of words. Meet me at Dagoba Beach in 10 minutes. With this, Izuku hung up and creeped out of his house carefully as to not wake up his mother. When he got there, he saw All Might standing there. "Look at this, All Might," he said as he concentrated and let the energy flow through all of his body at only 2% of OFA. "Young Midoriya, you finally figured it out. How much power is that? And how did you figure it out?" "Only 2%, and then Izuku proceeded to tell All Might about the butter. "You sure have weird analogies, young Midoriya." "Izuku Midoriya, what are you doing here late at night?" What are you doing here?" "That is the question I asked you." Izuku was about to reply, but Toshinori stepped in. "Sorry, Ms. Midoriya, I called Izuku because I had to tell something important to him regarding his quirk." "And who are you, mister?" "I am Toshinori Yagi, but please call me Toshinori, and I am your son's trainer." "Mom, how did you find me?" "I have put a tracker in your phone. I would appreciate, Ms. Midoriya, if you could share that tracking app with me too. Izuku has a knack of disappearing. Please, call me Inko and of course, I'll share the app with you." "What is going on here?" "Oh Izuku, how dense are you? These two are kind of flirting." "What?" "Well, if you two are done discussing my problems, can we go home, Mom?" "Sure, Izuku. See you later, Toshinori." Did I just give Inko my number? And did she just say see you later? What just happened? Thought Toshinori. 6 months into training. Izuku could now control 2% OFA without injuring himself, and when he used 4 arms and OFA simultaneously, he could use 10% OFA. 7 months into training. Izuku could now control 3% OFA and 20% OFA with 4 arms. The time limit of Omnitrix was now 25 minutes. 8 months into training. Izuku could now control 4% OFA and 25% OFA with 4 arms. Toshinori also came for dinner to Izuku's house to discuss Izuku's progress, although Ben had something else to say. 9 months into training. Izuku could now control 6% OFA and 30% OFA with 4 arms. "Hey Momo, why do you carry that All Might figurine everywhere you go?" "Because it belonged to someone very important to me, Kyoka." Momo then went ahead and explained Jiro how she met a boy who saved her from a bully, and how they instantly became friends and how she had to leave. "What was his name?" "His name was? I actually don't remember. But I have a feeling I am going to meet him soon. I wish you luck, Momo, but don't be sad as the chances are near to 0. It was the day of the exam and Izuku had received a message from All Might to meet him beforehand. "All Might? Why did you call me?" "A young Midoriya, I wanted to congratulate as you come way far in 5 months with me. You can even control 5% OFA and that's a lot considering you just got it. I also wanted to wish you luck before the exam. I know you'll pass easily and I want you to give it your best and go beyond plus ultra." By this time Izuku had tears in his eyes. "Thank you, All Might. Now don't cry, Izuku, go home and get ready." With that said, Izuku went home and got ready for the exam, which would most likely decide the future of his previously miserable but now truly awesome life. After getting ready, Izuku took off and reached U.A in time. All was good until he tripped on a stone and fell. Izuku braced for impact and closed his eyes, but to his surprise, the pain never came. "What happened?" "Someone saved you. Open your eyes and thank them." "Haven't I taught you this?" "Oh, sorry for using my quirk on you without asking, but tripping and falling would have been a bad omen." No worries and thanks. We really should get going, otherwise the gates will be closed." With that Izuku sprinted off. "Kid, you do not run off like that. Who knows? Maybe if you talked to her more, you would have finally got a girlfriend." "Nah, she's not my type." When Izuku entered the examination hall, the only free seat was next to him. Oi Deku, what is a quirkless idiot like you doing here? Izuku ignored him. Don't you look down on me. After the written examination part, I am telling you, question 8 was wrong. No, it wasn't Ben. Present Mike entered the room to explain the practical exam. While he was explaining, a blue-haired idiot, an ick for some reason I just dislike Ida, interrupted him. Present Mike, in the pamphlet, there are 4 robots but you have only explained about 3. If it's wrong then that reflects a bad impression of you, and you there you green-haired boy with that I don't care face. If you don't care please leave. How about you shut the hell up, 4 Eyes? At least I am not the one who is interrupting Present Mike, who I am sure was going to explain about the 0-pointer before you rudely stopped him. That seemed to do the trick. Nice one, kid. After explaining the 0-pointers, all were given a card to send them to fake cities for the exams. Sidieha. Let's do this. After reaching there, everybody was just standing there. Izuku saw the girl who stopped him from tripping and was starting towards her before he was stopped by 4 Eyes again. Can't you see that she is concentrating? Leave her alone, he said. Again, don't you have any manners? Rudely stopping people. First, I wasn't going to distract her but thank her for saving me from tripping, and second, she's nervous and I was going to boost her confidence. With that, Izuku, being in a bad mood, went away from there. START, yelled Present Mike. Everyone was confused but all they saw was green lightning. Before they knew, Izuku had broken 3 3-pointers. What are you all waiting for? There is no countdown in hero time. Present Mike got everyone back to reality and they started to break some robots. After 10 minutes, Izuku gathered 70 points and stopped for some rest. Meanwhile, in the observation room, this year's children have a lot of potential, especially those 2, Midnight said, and licking her lips, thus gaining some glare from the other teachers while pointing towards a boy with ash blonde hair and another with broccoli hair. These 2, Katsuki Bakugo and Izuku Midoriya, sure have strength, but do they have what it takes to be a real hero? Nezu said while pressing a red button. In the field, Izuku was resting on a roof when the ground started shaking. That must be the 0-pointer. Oh, and by the way, why aren't you using Omnitrix? I want it to be a surprise when I start classes. Izuku started to go back when he heard a cry of a girl. Help, came a faint voice from the rubble. Izuku saw that the robot was going to crush her, so he went full cowling 5% and ran towards her. Everyone was thinking that this boy is mad. He picked the girl up just to see that it was the girl who saved him. He then jumped up and with all his strength yelled, "Detroitites!" The robot was finished. Everyone's mouth dropped down in the observation room. Young Midoriya, I am proud of you, thought All Might. Give that child to me, came a voice from behind. Aizawa, so you see potential in him as well? Meh. Izuku, how are you going to get down? Oh no, I didn't think about it. While Izuku was falling down, he felt something slap him and suddenly he was weightless. He saw that it was the girl. Thank you for saving me, she thanked me. Suddenly Recovery Girl came and asked if anyone suffered some major injuries. She kissed that girl's ankle and his arm. Izuku felt a lot tired and blacked out. He woke up in his house and was confused as to what happened. Izuku, you are awake, came the voice of Inko. Mom, what am I doing here? Oh, Tashinori dropped you off here and said that you were tired. I heard that you did great in the exam. 1 week later. Izuku, it's here. Izuku was sitting in his room listening to music when came the shouts of his mom. His mom entered his room and brought the letter. Open it. Izuku opened it to be greeted with all might. Young Midoriya, you are probably wondering what I am doing here. Well, to answer that question, I am going to be teaching at you at A this year. Now coming to your exams, the written part was almost perfect with only 1 question wrong. I told you question 8 was wrong. Chill out, Ben, I'm sorry. About the practical part of your exams, you scored 70 points, but that wasn't the only part. A real hero has to rescue people too, and as you know, you rescued that girl from a 0-pointer, which is no small deal. And because of that you earned 50 rescue points, which makes 120 total points, earning 1st place in the exams, thus making you the representative of the first years. Welcome to you, a young man. This is your hero academia. With that, the message ended. Inko and Izuku started crying happy tears. 1 week later. Izuku, did you take your hanky? Yes, Mom. Your pencil box? Yes, Mom. I'm getting late, I gotta go. Izuku? Yes, Mom? You look cool. Thanks, Mom, love you. Love you too. With that, Izuku started his great hero journey. I can't believe I am going to be late on my first day of high school. Goddamn, Izuku just use XR8? Oh yeah, with that Izuku used Omnitrix to transform into XR8 and started his way to the school. But unfortunately for him, he crashed into a limousine. Momo was sitting in her limousine and waiting to reach the school when suddenly the whole limo shook and she realized they had crashed into someone. This had occurred once or twice before, and even when the victims weren't hurt that much, they still acted like they were going to die. Momo got ready to get out and give the man some money when she realized that they had hit a monster. I am very sorry I crashed into your limo and caused damage, the mutant boy said while bowing. Before Momo could say anything else, he muttered, "Shit, gonna be late for school and I'm sorry again." And then he ran off at super speed. Momo was shocked at what just happened but waved it off and went back inside her limo. Well, at least you said sorry to her. Izuku stepped inside the school and started finding class 1A. Now where the hell is this class, he wondered while roaming around. He saw a big door with the class 1A symbol on it. Ah, this must be it. Hopefully Bakugo won't be in this silly dash. Please take your legs off the table, this is no way to act in a school. Shut the hell up, you extra. My name is Tenya Ida and I went to Sumai Ida. Who was? So you're an elite. I'll crush you, came the familiar voice. Bad luck, Izuku ignored Ben's comment and started to go inside. Hey Deku. What's a quirkless piece of shit like you doing here? Bakugo said. Hello, my name is Dash, Tenya Ida. Yeah, I heard you. Izuku cut him off. I'm sorry for my ride behavior during the exams. You found out the hidden part of the exams, and thus you are clearly a better hero than me. Ida apologized. First, it's fine. Second, I didn't discover any hidden part. I just did what a true hero should have done, I said while taking my seat. Hey, you are the person who saved me. Thank you. BTW, my name is Achako Uraraka. Then suddenly a caterpillar came into the room. If you are here to make friends, you may as well leave. And, everybody, settle down, came a voice from the caterpillar. It took you guys 8 seconds to settle. That'll have to be fixed. I am Shota Aizawa and I am your homeroom teacher. Now put these on and meet me outside, Aizawa said as he passed everyone gym clothes. Everyone went to change in the locker rooms. Deku, answer me. How is a quirkless kid in you? Bakugo was fuming. Every boy listening to them was confused and looked at Izuku, and everyone was thinking, how could a quirkless kid get in U.A and that, even in hero course? Hello Midoriya, my name is Eijiro Kirishima and I was wondering, are you actually quirkless? Kirishima asked Izuku. Why don't you wait and find out? Izuku said with a smirk and went out to the ground where Aizawa was. Sensei, what about the orientation? Uraraka. You have come here to become a hero. Villains aren't waiting for you to grow up. They can strike any time and you need practice? Aizawa replied. Bakugo, is it? How far could you throw a softball in middle school? 67 meters, I think. Now try throwing it with your quirk. Bakugo took the ball from Aizawa's hands and threw it using his quirk. Die. Die. Izuku thought, amused. Aizawa shooed his score, 705.2 meters. This looks fun. Some idiot from behind said. Fun, you say? Well then how about this? Whoever gets last position is expelled, Aizawa said smugly. Everyone except Momo, Izuku, Bakugo and Todoroki were going mad. Well then, let's start this test, shall we? First was 50 meters race. Izuku was paired up with Bakugo. Before their race, it was Ida's turn, who got 2.8 seconds, Thusu setting the highest amongst them. Bakugo had a sheet-eating grin on his face when he saw that his matchup was Izuku. Time for me to blow all of their mind. Yeah, show them. With this, Izuku turned behind so that no one could see what he was doing and used Omnitrix to transform into XR8. Everyone was shocked, especially Bakugo and Momo. Not so confident now, Bakugo? Izuku mocked while Momo realized that this person was the one she hit with her limo and made a mental note to apologize later. 3, 2, 1, go. With that, before anyone could realize what happened, Izuku was through the 50 meters. Aizawa showed the time and everyone's jaw dropped. 0.01 seconds while Bakugo got 3.14 seconds. During the grip test, Izuku transformed into 4 arms and lo and behold, there was the same reaction. Even Aizawa was surprised. Izuku had a close call in the grip test as his score was 550 kilograms and a boy whose name was Shoji, his score was 542 kilograms. In the long jump, Izuku got first too. But in the side step, a great boy called as Mineta scored first. During the push-ups and the sit-ups, Aizawa had to stop Izuku and people were sure that if he hadn't stopped, he would have completed a 1,000 push-ups and sit-ups. Finally, it was the softball throw. Uraraka got infinity due to her quirk. Izuku was transformed into 4 arms and was getting ready to throw the ball when he was stopped by Aizawa. Problem child, everyone here is giving their best while you aren't even using half of your power. I want you to go beyond plus ultra or you will be expelled. Again, everyone was shocked when they heard that this wasn't even half of his power. Well then, let's OFA too, but only at 10%. I really don't want to break anything, Izuku thought. Everyone, get back please, but not you sensei. Izuku then used full cowling 10%. Electricity began to crackle and using 10% and 4-arm strength, he threw the ball. Shockwaves were created and Aizawa's eyes widened as he tried his best not to be blown away. He then showed the result. 55 kilometers. Again, the same reaction from everyone. Oh, and sensei, just so you know, this was only 10% of my power because if I use any more than that right now, I could blow my body up. So sorry, I couldn't go plus ultra again. Everyone was shocked that this was only 10% of Izuku's power. Bakugo was beyond mad. Deku, when the hell did you get a quirk? As he was going to blast Izuku in the face, his quirk vanished and a scarf pulled him back. Izuku realized where the scarf came from. So you are the pro hero eraser head, huh? Here are the results, Aiza said as he displayed them. 1. Izuku Midoriya. 2. Momo Yaoyorozu. 3. Shoto Todoroki. 4. Katsuki Bakugo. 20. Minoru Mineta. A small boy with grape hair started crying in the back. Oh, and BTW, the whole expulsion thing was a lie. Before anyone could say anything, Izuku told them, no it wasn't. Mr. Aizawa expelled a whole class of first years last year. This just means that he sees a whole lot of potential in us. Aizawa smirked and left the scene just to see All Might hiding. What are you doing here, All Might? Aha, nothing. It was the end of school and Izuku was ready to go home when someone called him Deku. Who called me that? Oh, it was me, Uraraka replied. Izuku's expression became cold. Never call me that again. Oh sorry, I heard Bakugo call you that and I thought it was a nickname as In Di Kairu, which meant you can do it. It's okay, but please call me Midoriya and nothing else, Izuku replied and started to walk away without any word. But then again, someone called him, but it wasn't Uraraka, it was someone else. Midoriya? Izuku turned around to see Yaoyorozu coming towards him. Yes, he asked. She bowed and said, I am sorry my limo hit you today. Izuku got flustered because a girl was apologizing to him and even bowing. Wait, how did you know it was me? Well, you see, when we hit you, you were transformed into that alien and during the quirk test you transformed into the same alien again. So you really are intelligent. The alien is called Exa-8BW and about what happened in the morning, it's fine, really. With that he flashed his $1,000,000 smile at her and then went home. The next day, Izuku entered the class, barely on time as Aizawa was right behind him. Midoriya, Principal Nezu is calling you to his office, Aizawa told Izuku. I'll go right away, sensei. I wonder what he needs from me? Come in, came a voice from inside. Izuku entered the room to find a dog/mouse/bear staring at him. Ah, you must be Izuku Midoriya. Please sit here and make yourself comfortable. Izuku sat on a couch, and Nezu sat on the opposite couch. You might be wondering why I called you. Well, it is because of your quirk. What about it, sir? You see, in your application, it was written that your quirk was stockpile. I know that your quirk is OFA, but naming it as stockpile is fine. But what about your other quirk? Or should I say quirks? Izuku's eyes widened as he thought about how Nezu knew about OFA. Before you say anything, is your other quirk related to that watch you are wearing? If Izuku's eyes could have widened more, they would have popped straight out of his face. Did All Might tell you about this? Izuku asked while pointing to Omnitrix. Nezu chuckled, "Oh. You see, my quirk is high specs and I watched the quirk test yesterday very closely and saw that you're transformed. Well, bro, he is very smart. You might as well tell him." Izuku gave in and explained to Nezu how he found Omnitrix and can transform into 10 different aliens. I see. That is a very strong quirk there. I hope you became a great hero. And one more thing, you have to name this quirk so I can change it in your documents, otherwise, you might get arrested. Sir, I think just name it as Omnitrix, but please don't tell anyone about the watch. People can think that I can transform into aliens, but if they find out it's due to this watch, my life may get in danger. That is completely understandable. I won't tell anyone, not even the staff. You may go now. Thank you, sir. When Izuku returned, he was bombarded with questions. Why did Nezu call you? Are you getting expelled? Did you do something wrong? What happened? Izuku replied to all of them with a single sentence. Nezu wanted to speak to me about something. With that, he sat down on his desk. It was the last class of the day, heroics class, and everyone was wondering who will be their teacher. I hope it's Snipe. 13 would be very cool too. Please, not Aizawa-sensei. They were interrupted by someone. I am walking through the door like a normal person. That is not normal, All Might, Izuku thought. It's All Might, Kirishima exclaimed. He is even wearing his Silver Age costume, added Kaminari. Hello, children. Today's class will be battle training, meaning that teams of 2 will be selected to battle against each other, aka heroes versus villains. And heroes and villains are nothing without their costumes, so go ahead, wear them. Meet me in ground beta in 5 minutes, everyone. With that, All Might started going to ground beta. Is everybody here? Wait, where is young Midoriya? I think he is still wearing his costume, told Kirishima. I'm here. Sorry for making everyone wait, Izuku said while coming to everyone. That's one cool costume, Midoriya. Ida praised. Thank you, Ida, yours is cool too. This costume without his bunny mask thingy. So, as I said, teams of 2 will be selected, therefore, 5 teams of heroes and 5 teams of villains. One team will go against another. Villains' objective will be to guard a bomb, while heroes will have to touch the bomb and thus stop it from exploding. Any questions? Is there an expulsion threat? Can we end the other person? Is there a time limit? Whoa, calm down, I don't have superhuman hearing. No, you won't be expelled for losing. You cannot, and I mean cannot, end the other person. And yes, there is a 15-minute time limit. Now let's draw the teams. Izuku Midoriya and Achiko Uraraka, Team A, versus Katsuki Bakugo and Tenya Ida, Team D. Shoto Todoroki and Mizo Shoji, Team B, versus Masahiro Ojiro and Toru Hagakure, Team I. Fumikage Tokoyami and Tsuyu Azui, Team H, versus Eijiro Kirishima and Hanta Siro, Team J. Denki Kaminari and Kyoka Jiro, Team G, versus Momo Yaoyorozu and Minoru Mineta, Team C. Yuga Aoyama and Mina Ishido, Team E, versus Rikido Sato and Koji Koda, Team F. Midoriya. I'm in your team, it's like fate. So, Uraraka, here's the plan. I know that Bakugo will be coming for me and so I'll distract him. Then we'll fly up because I'm sure the bomb is on the top floor. Bakugo will already be down because he will think I'm there too. You'll distract Ida and I'll touch the bomb. We win. Wait, we'll fly. Izuku didn't have time to answer that question. He yelled All Might. Everyone was eager to see which team will win. They were expecting some high-level fight between Midoriya and Bakugo. What they didn't expect to see was Midoriya and Uraraka's plan. Izuku changed into Diamond Head. Uraraka was shocked. /N these. People will get shocked every time he changes into a new alien. Then Izuku made crystals go inside the building, but only on the ground floor, offering the crystals as a distraction because he thought that Bakugo will think that Izuku is down and looking for him, very similar to Todoroki's move in the Yudata festival. Then he changed into Stinkfly. Uraraka, get on me. Then he flew up to the roof and dropped Uraraka there and changed into gray matter. Uraraka, I'm here, he called out to her. In the observation room, Everyone wondered where Izuku vanished. Where did he go? Asked mostly everyone. Look closely, he's there. Yaoyorozu pointed to a small thing on the screen. How did he get so small? Kirishima asked. Midoriya sure has tricks up his sleeve. He probably is the strongest out of all of us, Kirishima said. Uraraka then opened the door, understanding Izuku's plan. As Izuku had guessed, as soon as they went one floor down, they found Ida. Uraraka jumped to Ida, who was taken back because he expected them to come from down. While Ida was busy with Uraraka, Izuku went ahead and touched the bomb and transformed back by touching the Omnitrix logo. Hero team wins. All Might exclaimed over the speaker. Ida and Bakugo were both out of their minds and couldn't understand what the hell just happened. Midoriya, that was so cool and manly. Kirishima applauded Izuku. Yeah, you ended it so fast no one could even understand what happened. An invisible girl, Hagakure, exclaimed. Congrats Midoriya. Thank you Ida. Dude, how many monsters can you change into? Kaminari asked. They are not monsters. They are aliens, Izuku replied and avoided the other question. I don't trust them yet. It was a good plan, Izuku, but the trial was too easy for us. You should be proud of yourself. Hell, even I am proud of you. Thank you, Ben. You have been a great part of my training too. Oi Deka, how the F did you get so strong? Bakugo was fuming. Smoke was coming out of his ears. Izuku just showed him the middle finger and walked away from him. Who do you think the MVP of this match was, class? Personally, I think the MVP was Midoriya. He formulated a foolproof plan in which he saw that no one will get hurt. Because of his observant nature, he guessed that Bakugo was going to go for him, and thus he used those crystals as a distraction so that Bakugo will think that he is down, whereas he changed into another alien and flew up to the roof and changed into another alien for stealth, and he knew Ida would be distracted with Uraraka, and thus he just walked to the bomb and won, explained Yaoyorozu. Izuku blushed as he was deemed the MVP. The other matches went on. Team B won against Team I, Team J won against Team H, Team G won against Team C because someone Mineta was busy staring at Yaoyorozu, and Team F won against Team E. Oh no, my time is up, gotta go otherwise my secret will be blown, thought Toshinori. Well class, that's it for today. Change into uniform and you can all go home. Class dismissed, All Might say this and runs off. He sure was in a hurry, Mina said to no one in particular. His time was probably up, Izuku thought. You have been hiding your quirk this entire time, Deku? How dare you defeat me without fighting me? Bakugo took a step towards Izuku. Izuku also took a step forward. Whether or not I have been hiding my quirk does not concern you. Maybe I was. And I'd advise not starting a fight here if you don't want to get expelled. With that, Bakugo went away. That was so manly, Midori bro. Now if you'll excuse me, I gotta get home. Izuku said and ran off. Izuku got up and got ready for school. I wonder what we will be doing today. Bye Mom. Going to be late again. Why do you keep forgetting that you have Omnitrix? Usage of quirks in public is illegal without a license. PFT, who is even seeing you? Just use it and transform back when you reach near the school. Not a bad idea with that. He used XR8 to get to school on time. In front of the school he was greeted by a swarm of reporters who kept asking him questions. How do you feel being taught by All Mights, or is he a good teacher? Izuku was getting annoyed, so he yelled, if any one of you asks me another question, I'll sue you for harassment. That shut them up. As Izuku entered the gate, some reporters started following him, but the door closed shut behind them. Aw, sucks to be you. Ha! Izuku laughed and saw Aizawa and Present Mike standing in front of them. Aizawa-sensei, what are you doing here? Trying to get rid of these pests. Now please go to your class. After 2 minutes, Aizawa arrived in the class. Okay students, today, we are going to do something that is going to affect the rest of your lives. Is it another test? The whole of Class 1A asked. You are going to pick your class president and vice president. Oh, it's something school-related, everyone thought. I want to be the president, said Kaminari excitedly. I want to be the president, said Mina. The first thing I'll do after becoming president is change the girl's uniform, hee. Mineta whispered, but everybody heard him. Izuku charged 5% OFA and punched Mineta in the gut. Thank you, Midoriya, every girl said in unison. Ida spoke up, if we are going to choose a class president, it should be done through democracy. But wouldn't everybody vote for themselves? Asked a confused Kirishima. Why don't we try it? Yaoyorozu said. Everyone nodded. Please, not me, not me, not me. Why don't you want to be the class pres? It's a lot of responsibility and I am going to let everyone down. Listen, Izuku, first, you are one of the most responsible kid I have ever seen. Second, if you ever want to become the symbol of peace, you have to know what responsibility feels like. You do have a point. If I do get elected, I'll accept it. But I'm not voting for myself. All the votes came in low and behold, Izuku won. Who voted for the shitty Deku? I should be the president, I am the greatest, shouted Bakugo. The vice president position went to Yaoyorozu. When Izuku went to the front of the class, Yaoyorozu was already there, who flashed him a smile. I don't know why you voted for me, but I will accept it. I will try my best to not let you all down, Izuku spoke to the class. During lunchtime, Izuku was sitting with Ida and Uraraka. I still don't understand why I was chosen for president, Izuku asked. Because you were the perfect candidate. That's why I voted for you, Ida explained. You're right, I guess. By the way, I never asked, but why do both of you want to become heroes? Izuku questioned. Well, I want to become a hero mainly because my brother is one and I want to become just like him, Ida declared. Who is your brother, Ida? Izuku asked. Have you heard of the pro-hero Ingenium? Oh yeah, he is so cool. Ida just smiled at this. Well, I want to become a hero for the money. You see, my father owns a construction money, but recently we have hit a low and I wanted to become a hero so that I can support them. Oh, was all Ida and Izuku could say. Yeah, I know it's embarrassing, Uraraka said. Not at all, Uraraka. You want your parents to live happily and help them. That is pretty heroic in my eye, Izuku assured. What about you, Midoriya? Why do you want to become a hero? You see, Izuku was cut off by the sound of an alarm. Everyone started panicking and a third year said, this is a level 3 breach. It has never happened in my 3 years at Udata. Izuku, Uraraka and Ida were all crushed between the mob. Izuku saw through the window that it was just the press. Uraraka, make me weightless, why? Just do it. Uraraka touched him and Izuku became weightless. Okay, Izuku, you have to just shout. You can do that. Izuku calmed himself and shouted, everyone shut up and see, it's just the press. You all are Udata students and should not be scared this easily. Everyone went to windows and saw that it was in fact the press. Class 1A looked at Izuku and thought, we chose the right man for president. Yeah, I got the information. Our class is going to be at USJ at 12 p.m. Yeah, All Might is going to be there. You know, Shigaraki, your distraction was unnecessary. I would have done it myself, but no, you had to interfere and raise suspicion. A mysterious voice was talking to Shigaraki on the phone. Today's hero lesson will be rescue simulations which are off campus, so head on to the buses and wear your hero costumes, Aizawa said in a monotone voice. As the students got on the bus, they quickly departed from the school. While on the way, Izuku was staring outside the window, not paying attention to what his classmates were talking about, when a frog girl brought him out of his thoughts. Hello, Midoriya, my name is Azuitsuyu, but please call me Tsu. I wanted to know about your quirks. When she said this, everyone on the bus stopped talking among themselves as everyone wanted to know about Izuku's quirk. Izuku was caught off guard but still answered, well, my quirk is called Stockpile. It basically gives me super strength, but currently I am only able to use 30% when I am 4 arms without breaking any bones in my body. It is very similar to All Might's quirk, isn't it? As Tsu said this, Izuku flinched. No one saw it except a bicolored hair boy, Todoroki. Why, it sure is. And what about your other quirk? She asked again. Izuku thought about it for a minute. Then should I tell them? Your choice, Izuku. I'm sorry, but I don't trust all of you. Maybe someday I'll tell you all about it. This intrigued everybody, especially Todoroki. Come on, everyone, get out, we are here at the USJ, Aizawa ordered. As everyone exited the bus, they were met by pro-hero number 13, and he was a rescue specialist. Uraraka was fangirling because 13 was her favorite hero. Just as he was about to continue explaining the training they were going to do, he was interrupted by Kirishima. Cool. We even get to fight fake villains, he exclaimed. Stand back, they are real villains. 13, evacuate the children fast. They turned around and started to get out but were stopped by a purple mist and a voice boomed the arena. I am Tamura Shigaraki and we are the League of Villains. We have come here to end the symbol of peace. Wait, where is All Might? It was written that All Might was also going to be here. Well, if he isn't here, that means we can have some fun with the children, haha. That's when Bakugo charged on the purple mist only to be warped somewhere else. One by one, everyone was teleported somewhere else. But not everyone. Ito was able to escape the arena to get help. Izuku fell onto the ground as he was teleported. He got up and saw that he was alone, and in front of him was Eraserhead fighting the villains. He transformed into 4 arms and charged 30% OFA and ran to fight some villains. What is a kid going to do to us? Do not underestimate me. He knocked 4 villains out easily. He saw students slowly coming out of the regions they were teleported to. He shouted, "Everyone, get back. Please." No one wanted to argue with him, so they did what he said. "Kurogyri. Bring out the Nomu." "I'll do that, Tamura Shigaraki, but one student has escaped. If you weren't my ride, I would have ended you." Nomu. And Eraserhead, the bird-like creature, started punching Aizawa and then took his face and started slamming it against the floor. Everyone just stood and started in horror. "Leave him alone." Izuku ran toward the Nomu and punched him. To Shigaraki's surprise, his punch was effective and Nomu was thrown back. "So you are the boss character, huh?" Nomu end him. Nomu and Izuku both started punching each other. Izuku was still 4 arms. "Your punches will be of no use. Nomu here has shock absorption quirk. So that's the case, what should I do?" Izuku thought. Izuku transform into Diamond Head and cut his hand or something? Izuku followed his advice, changed into Diamond Head, and where his hands were once, there were now sharp blades. He ran towards Nomu and cut off his arm, but it just regenerated. "Oh, did I forget to tell you? Nomu also has a regeneration quirk," Shigaraki stated. Izuku was shocked and let his guard down. Nomu attacked him and sent him flying towards a tree. "Midoriya," everyone in class yelled. "I think it's time you use the last resort." "Are you sure, Ben? Do you want to die?" "No." "Then become Ghost Freak. I'll try my best to keep him in control, but I am sorry if anything goes wrong." "Okay, here goes nothing." Izuku charged at the Nomu. Somehow a lot of smoke came. Izuku transformed into Ghost Freak and possessed the Nomu. To everyone, they couldn't see what happened because of the smoke. When the smoke cleared, all they saw was the Nomu. The class went mad. Many of them started crying. The Nomu walked toward Shigaraki unbeknownst to him that the Nomu was in fact Izuku. As soon as he got near, he uppercut Shigaraki. Aizawa saw this and was confused along with the rest of the class. "Shit. Izuku, I can't control him anymore. I'm sorry." Before Izuku knew it, he was punching Shigaraki so much, like he was trying to end him. He couldn't understand what he was doing. Then he realized. It's Ghost Freak. He couldn't control him. He had failed. Beep beep, the Omnitrix. "Sheet, the time is up. I have to get out of this Nomu." Izuku used all of his power to take control of his body and got out of the Nomu in time. To people watching the fight, they saw Izuku vanished, the Nomu suddenly hitting Shigaraki until he lost consciousness, and then suddenly, Izuku was standing beside the Nomu. While they were watching this, the purple mist guy had already escaped. "Do not worry, students, because I am here." All Might looked and saw Izuku in the middle. "All Might, I did it," and then he blacked out. Nomu and Shigaraki were arrested and Izuku was rushed to the hospital to see if he sustained any serious injuries. But thankfully, it was only fatigue. "Where am I?" He was smacked in the head with something. "Ouch. How many times are you going to just rush in a fight without thinking?" Recovery girl complained. "Did I break anything?" "No." "Then nothing should be a problem." Izuku smiled at her. "There are some people outside waiting to meet you. Send them in." The whole of Class 1A except Bakugo was there. Achako and Ida rushed towards Izuku and hugged him, then Ida hit him on his shoulder. "Dude, your battle was so manly," Kirishima said from behind. Then everybody surrounded him and asked him if he was okay. Guys, chill. I'm not even hurt much. I passed out due to fatigue," and smiled at them. Midoriya, Yaoyorozu stepped forward. "As the vice president and on behalf of the whole class, I want to say thank you, and we are sorry that we could do nothing while you fought," she said and bowed. "It's fine really. What actually happened there, Midori bro? Kirishima asked, and everyone nodded their heads like they were thinking the same thing. Something happened, but as I said before, I don't trust you all enough to tell you, Izuku answered. What happened in his past that he is so untrusting, everyone thought. Can everyone move outside? Me and Detective Tsukachi have to ask young Midoriya some questions in private. Everyone acknowledged All Might and went out of the room. Izuku, what you did today was brave and awesome. Izuku was expecting to get a scolding from All Might for being reckless, but not a praise. You managed to single-handedly defeat most of the villains except one person, ensured the safety of all of your classmates and even another teacher, and all of that without even breaking a bone. You are a true hero. Hearing those words, Izuku just couldn't stop himself from crying. All Might, thank you. Now my boy, no need to cry. Now if you could answer some questions that Detective Tsukachi had to as All Might coughed up some blood, and where stood All Might? Now there was Tashinori. You are All Might, is it okay for the detective to see you like this? Yes, Izuku, Tsukachi is a dear friend to me. He even knows about OFA. Now, let's get on with answering some questions. So, Midoriya, can you explain what exactly happened at USG? Well, when we reached there, 13 greeted us and told us what we were going to do, but then Kirishima saw some villains who he thought were fake. Turns out they were real. 13 tried to evacuate us, but a purple mist guy, I think his name is Kurogiri, tried to stop us. He managed to separate most of us, but Ida got out. I was thrown in the middle of the battle. I started fighting some villains, but then I saw Aizawa-sensei getting beat up, so I tried fighting the bird-like looking person who they called Nomu. Nomu couldn't speak, only follow orders from Tamura Shigaraki. Nomu had 2 quirks, shock absorption, and super regeneration. I tried fighting him, but it was no good. So I used my last resort. I turned into another alien called Ghost Freak and I possessed him. Go on, said Tsukachi. Then when I possessed him, I started hitting Shigaraki. And then I depossessed him and passed out. Izuku explained. That possessing quirk of yours? Can you use it to possess Shigaraki and see his memories so that we can find their hideout? We currently have no memory-reading quirk users in our country, Tsukachi asked Izuku. I'm sorry, but I can't. It is my last resort for a reason. Izuku mumbled. Don't worry, Midoriya, you have done more than enough, and on the behalf of the police, thanks, Tsukachi bowed to Izuku. Izuku, I think you should go home. Inko must be worried to health, Tashinori chuckled. After Izuku went, Tsukachi spoke up. You sure chose right, Tashinori. This amount of potential this kid has can even be seen by a blind man. And Inko, What? Why are you looking at me like that? Tsukachi just smirked, opened the door and went away. What a date, Tashinori thought. So that is why the reporters were here. It was all just a distraction. Damn it, how could we be so foolish, Nezu said. What happened has happened. Thanks to Midoriya, everyone is safe. Heck, I am alive because of him. Shoto announced. Aizawa is your problem child becoming your favorite? Nemuri, Midnight, teased. Nemuri, shut up. I think we should continue with the sports festival to show that U.A is not weak. Aizawa replied. All in favor of hosting the festival? Nezu asked. All hands went up. Then it's decided. Be sure to inform your students. Meanwhile, in a bar, Kurogiri was ashamed. He had to leave Tamura Shigaraki there. I am sorry, master, he said, talking to a TV. Don't blame yourself, Kurogiri. It was Tamura's fault that led to his demise. Now he's gone, there is no doubt Static will be my successor. Bring him in right now, I want to talk to him. As you wish, master. A portal opened and a figure stepped from it. I am sorry, master, I didn't think my classmates were this strong. It's okay, Static, now we know that All Might is still in his prime form. If he was able to defeat my Nomu, came the voice from the TV. A master, All Might wasn't even there for the fight. Then who defeated the Nomu? The voice was furious. It was my classmate, Izuku Midoriya, replied the figure. Izuku Midoriya? I'll keep an eye on him and you do that too. And now that Shigaraki has failed, you are the leader of the League of Villains and my successor. Thank you, master. It's my pleasure serving you. After 3 days, Yudare was finally back. Thankfully, Izuku woke up on time and reached school without using Omnitrix. Why do you waste money on the train when you can use XLR8? To be honest, I have no clue. In the class, everyone was discussing who would be their homeroom teacher. Then Aizawa walked into the room. WHAAT, everyone shouted. Please don't shout. Aizawa pleaded. Sensei, are you okay? You should rest for a few days and let another teacher come, Tsu asked with a concerned look. Yes, I am fine. Oh, and Midoriya, thank you for saving my life, Aizawa bowed. Aizawa-sensei, Izuku was cut off, please call me Aizawa. Everyone was shocked at the sudden attitude change of their teacher. Aizawa, it's fine really, I saw a hero in need of help, I came. Izuku smiled. Now, the life-threatening situation isn't over. Is there another villain attack? Zero asked. No, Irane is hosting its annual sports festival. Everyone's sweat dropped. It isn't just any sports festival. Many pro heroes come to scout some future sidekicks and they may choose you. So try your best. But should you be hosting a festival just after a villain attack? Mineta asked. This is to show that you is not afraid. With that, the class is dismissed. Izuku started to walk out of the class, but outside their class many students were blocking their way. Out of my way, extras, yelled Bakugo. Wow, they experience one villain attack and now they think that they are unbeatable, someone in the crowd said. What are they doing? Ida asked. Scouting the competition, Four Eyes answered Bakugo. As the class president, please excuse us, we are sorry for his actions, Izuku apologized while pointing to Bakugo. Then an indigo-colored hair boy came from between the crowd and said, we are going to beat you all and show you that all other courses can also beat hero course. That's fine by me, now could you please get aside? Some of us have to go home, no one moved. I am going to say this for the last time, move aside, everyone felt a shiver going down their spine. This time Izuku's words had a strong effect and everyone stepped aside. Thank you. Good luck to all for the festival. With that Izuku started to go home but was stopped. All Might. Izuku, can I talk to you for a minute? Sure, what's up All Might? I told you to call me Tashinori or Sensei in public. As you know, the sports festival is in a week. It will be broadcast worldwide and many pro heroes will be watching. I want you to hold your head up high and tell them, I am here. I'll try my best and make you proud, Toshi-sen. I know you will, kids, he said while ruffling Izuku's hair. It was finally the day of the sports festival. Izuku had trained normally like he did the rest of the days. Ben, should I win easily or give them some chance? Blow them away, Izuku. Show them what you are made of and that you are going to be the next #1 hero. Thanks, Ben, we'll do that. Using XLR8 he reached the arena. Everyone was hyped up when Todoroki walked to Izuku. Midoriya, it's no question that you are the strongest out of all of us. So I am going to beat you today and show my father I don't need his fire to win. Whoa, no need to. Declare a war, dude, Kaminari said. Listen here, Todoroki. If you even think that you can defeat me without using your full power, then you are wrong. Izuku walked outside to the arena where he saw tons of people. Oak, that's a lot of people. Present Mick's voice boomed throughout the arena. Hello, people. Welcome to this year's sports festival. Let's just see who wins. Just then, Midnight walked onto a little stage and took the mic. May we have our first-year representative Izuku Midoriya? Izuku walked up the stage and Midnight winked at him. Midoriya started blushing furiously. He could feel the stares of dozens of jealous guys. Midnight handed him the mic. He touched the mic to see if it was working. He then said, bring it on, and then returned the mic to Midnight. The crowd applauded because of his courage while students kept giving him death glares. When he was about to walk off, Midnight whispered to him, I'll be rooting for you, Izuku. Izuku felt goosebumps all over his body but somehow still got off the stage. Izuku, I didn't know you were a ladies' man. Even Midnight? You sure are one lucky bastard. Ben. What gave you that idea? And no, this isn't a harem, this is still an Izuku x Momo story. I just wanted to tease Izuku. He now get ready, she's about to explain what we have to do. Thank you Izuku Midoriya for those words. Now we will find out what the first event is. It is an obstacle course. Get ready because only the first 40 participants will make it to the next event, Midnight explained. Midnight, can we fly? Izuku asked with a sly grin. Sure. As everyone got ready, Izuku stayed in the back. This is it, Izuku, show them what you have got. 3, 2, 1, go. Midnight announced. I transformed into XLR8 and because I was far behind, I saw that Todoroki had frozen everyone in their places. I zoomed and literally no one saw me. Izuku Midoriya of Class 1A is in the lead. Wait, where'd he go? Is he teleporting? No, he's just moving so fast you can't even see him, Aizawa said in a dead voice. Aizawa, what are you teaching your kids? I haven't done anything. They are doing this on their own. Todoroki's eyes widened. When the hell did he get in front of me? Where even is he? Izuku ignored the robots and went past them, but then the second phase came. I'll be a good man and pave a way for everyone, laughing face. Izuku thought as he changed into Diamond Head and paved a way of crystals above the trench. He transformed back into XLR8 and started running. Ignoring the mines, he ran straight through them as they exploded right behind them. And the winner of the first event is Izuku Midoriya of Class 1A, who also set a record of 2 minutes 13 seconds. Izuku saw All Might, who gave him a thumbs up. In second place we have Shoto Todoroki and in third we have Katsuki Bakugo, both of Class 1A. Aizawa, aren't you proud? After winning the first event in the sports festival, the crowd cheered and were waiting anxiously for Midnight to announce the next event. Once the qualifying students crossed the finish line, Midnight walked to the podium and was about to announce the next event. Congrats to the lucky 40 people who advance. The next event is a cavalry battle. Each team will consist of 4 people. The person on the top will wear a headband which will represent the number of points their team has. The objective is to snatch the headband of the other teams. The points allotted to each person are according to their ranks in the obstacle course. Everyone's points are displayed on the screen. The first place has 10 million points. Everyone was glaring at Izuku again. Oh boy. No one was willing to join his team. Midnight, can I be a solo team? Unfortunately, no, Izuku, you have to have a minimum of 2 members. Izuku thought about it and finally went to Tokoyami. Join me. Luckily for Izuku, Tokoyami agreed. So do you have a plan, Midoriya? Actually, I have a way of immobilizing people. Then your dark shadow can retrieve their headbands off them. Okay, let's do this. Now that the teams have been formed, let the event begin. Midnight announced and a buzzer sounded marking the start of the event. Izuku changed into Stinkfly and told Tokoyami and get on him. If I just fly, it's gonna be a little unfair, so I'll try to keep that at a minimum, Izuku explained to Tokoyami. Izuku saw a random team coming for them. He used Stinkfly's power to throw some adhesive and the team just froze there, unable to move. Let's take their headbands. Midoriya, Bakugo coming from behind. Ashido may be able to burn my adhesive using her acid, but it's still worth a try. Izuku shot at them and they got stuck. Thankfully, Bakugo's team forgot about Ashido's quirk and started calming Bakugo down. Let them keep their headbands, Tokoyami. Todoroki's coming, Tokoyami warned. Izuku shoots some of his adhesive, but unfortunately, Yaoyorozu blocked it with her shield. Shit, thought Izuku. Todoroki started shooting ice and started rounding them into a corner and they were therefore trapped. Tokoyami, I'm about to throw you. Don't worry, I will catch you. Wait for W dash. Izuku threw Tokoyami up and within seconds transformed into XR8 and then caught him. Sorry for that scare. If I would have changed when you were on top of me, we would have lost balanced and would have lost. It's okay. Before Todoroki could realize what was happening, Izuku ran towards his back, but as soon as he touched Todoroki to get his headband, the buzzer went off, which meant that the event was over. And in first place we have Team Midoriya. In second place we have Team Todoroki. In third place we have Team Bakugo, and in fourth place we have Team Mono. Wait, in fourth place we have Team Shinso. These all advance. The next event will be declared after the 1-hour break. Midnight announced. Well then, let's go have some lunch, Izuku thought. Izuku was sitting at the table with Ida and Uraraka and discussing what the next event could be when they were interrupted. Midoriya, can I talk to you in private? Izuku reassured Ida and Uraraka. I'll be right back, you guys. Izuku started following Todoroki when they reached an empty hallway and Todoroki just stood there. Why did you bring me here? Izuku was getting irritated. Midoriya, have you ever heard of quirk marriages? Izuku's facial expression changed. Yes. So, I think that your stockpile quirk is very similar to All Might and you don't like to talk about your other quirk, so I was thinking that maybe you are a result of quirk marriage like me. So answer me, are you All Might's secret quirk marriage child? Izuku tried his best to hold back his laugh and answered Todoroki, what? No, I am not a result of a quirk marriage. My dad left when I was little and my mother has raised me since. No, All Might is not my dad. But you said like me. Todoroki, are you Dash? Yes, Midoriya. My bastard of a father bought my mom and had kids until he got the perfect one. I am his fourth try. He always abused my siblings and my mother and me. That is why I want to show my father that I don't need his quirk and can win without it. Izuku wanted to feel bad, but this angered him. This idiot has a strong quirk and won't even use it because of family issues. Listen here, Todoroki. If you think you can beat me with only 50% of your power, you are wrong. Without saying anything, Todoroki just left. While Izuku was going, he notices Bakugo spying and realized that he heard everything. Bakugo, I request you to shut up and keep the conversation between me and Todoroki to yourself. Bakugo was caught off guard as he thought nobody had noticed him. Meanwhile, somewhere else. Guys, I'm gonna go to the washroom and be right back, Momo told her friends and started towards the washroom. When she was gone, Mineta and Kaminari came to the girls and said, hello ladies, Aizawa-sensei has told us to tell you to get ready for the cheerleading competition. What cheerleading competition? Jiro asked. Have you not heard about it? It happens every year. Aizawa-sensei said to wear cheer outfits and meet everyone outside. Kaminari answered. Are you sure and not lying? Mineth. Yes, why would we lie? It's not as if we are the two most perverted children of the class. Mineta said the last part to himself and smiled. Ok then, wouldn't want to disappoint Aizawa-sensei. Hagakure said excitedly. Momo was inside a stall when she heard some other girls enter. The boys of Class 1A are so cute and handsome. Yeah, especially that Todoroki. Too bad the girls there are pretty too. Most of the boys are probably taken already. What was that girl's name? Yaoyorozu, was it? Momo tensed at the sound of her name and stayed there, silent, ready to hear what they were talking about. Yes, have you seen her outfit? Such a slut trying to show off her body. She got in through recommendations, didn't she? Yes, she probably slept with the principal. I mean, she also probably keeps creating money using her quirk, and that's why she is so rich. True. She doesn't deserve to be in hero course. Momo was tearing up. No, Momo, keep a hold of yourself. Don't let these small comments get to you. Thankfully, the girls went out and Momo also got out, trying hard to fight her tears. No, they don't know how much I have worked to get to where I am. This is no time to feel bad for yourself. The event is going to start soon. I'll go there. When she reached the arena, she saw the girls in cheerleading outfits. Girls, why are you wearing cheerleading outfits? For the cheerleading competition, of course. Mina exclaimed. And who told you that? Kaminari and Mineta told us that Aizawa-sensei had told them to tell us. Kaminari and Mineta. Those are the two most perverted children in our class, right? Every girl realized that they had been fooled and looked down. Now you realize. Now go and change back, Momo ordered. I'm gonna end, Kaminari. Jiro angrily shouted. Alright, it's time to announce the next event, which is one-on-one fighting tournament. Midnight declared. Excuse me? Ojiro yelled. Yes? Midnight questioned. I'd like to withdraw from the tournament. Everyone was shocked, but Ojiro continued. I have no memory of how I got here and therefore I don't think I have earned it. Then suddenly a boy from 1B said the same thing. If you'd like to withdraw, then it's fine with me. 2 more children will be brought from the team who were placed in the 5th position. Therefore, the matches of the first round were like this. Izuku Midoriya vs Hitoshi Shinso. Shoto Todoroki vs Hantasiro. Denki Kaminari vs Ibara Shiozaki. Mina Ishido vs Yuga Oyama. Achiko Uraraka vs Mei Hatsum. Fumikage Tokoyami vs Momo Yaoyorozu. Eijiro Kirishima vs Tetsu. WTF is that name? Tenya Ida vs Katsuki Bakugo. I wonder who Shinso is? Izuku thought, and speak of the devil, someone came to him. So you must be Midoriya? Izuku turned to look at an indigo-haired boy. Are you dashed? He was stopped by Ojiro's tail. Don't talk to him, Midoriya. Why? Come, I'll explain. When they were in a hallway, Ojiro opened his mouth. It's his quirk. I think it activates when you talk to him. Midoriya, promise me you won't say anything to him. Thank you, Ojiro. I'll try my best to keep my mouth shut. Izuku ran to the arena as it was time for his match. 3, 2, 1, start. Midnight said. You sure do have a strong quirk, Midoriya. Izuku kept his mouth shut. Shit, Monkey Boy must have told him, Shinso thought. I wish I had a powerful quirk like yours. You probably trained for years. You are a lucky boy. How I wish I had a quirk like yours. This society is unfair, isn't it? Some get powerful quirks while some get stuck with weak quirks. I can never even be a hero with my quirk. While Shinso was saying all this, Izuku was slowly moving towards him. Izuku understood what all Shinso was saying and couldn't help opening his mouth. Izuku, stop, don't speak. But Ben's words were gone to deaf ears. You are wrong. Izuku was stopped. Denizo. I win. Now walk out of the arena. What is this? Midoriya is obeying him like a puppy. Shinso Hitoshi, quirk, brainwashing. Looks like it's game over for Midoriya. I told him not to speak. Ojiro yelled in frustration to his classmates. Izuku. Come on, get a grip. Control yourself. What is happening? Why can't I control myself? I'm going to lose. Me and my big mouth, I just had to say something. As Izuku was about to walk out, he heard a girl's voice. Thank me later. Izuku was confused as to what she meant and was more confused when he realized that there was no girl near him, but then his finger flicked itself using OFA and he was blown away. What just happened? Present Mike yelled. Looks like he broke the control Shinso had over him, Aizawa said boringly. Ichao. This can't be happening, Shinso thought. Think, Shinso think. So Midoriya, do you have a girlfriend? But Izuku didn't reply. Instead, he charges OFA 5% and punched Shinso. Shinso is out of bounds. Izuku wins. Midnight announced. Shinso, do not listen to people who say you have a villain's quirk. And answer me, do you want to become a hero? Wait, how do you know people say I have a villa dash? Just answer me. Yes, I want to become a hero. Good. Because I have a feeling I'm gonna see you in class 1A soon. Then Izuku smiled and walked away. You scared us there, Midoriya. Uraraka said. But I did win, didn't I? Hey Ben, what happened down there? I have no idea. I was trying to talk to you, but I don't think you could hear me. Then suddenly a girl's voice came and you used OFA in your finger. I see. I'll ask All Might later and see if he knows anything. Todoroki won against Zero. Ashido won against Aoyama. It was time for the match of Tokoyami against Yaoyorozu. Who do you think will win this match, Midoriya? Ida asked. If Yaoyorozu knows Tokoyami's weakness, then it's a piece of cake for her. But if she doesn't, then the match could go either way. Everyone listened to his explanation. The match started. Everyone watched how Tokoyami's dark shadow asserted dominance while Yaoyorozu wasn't able to do anything, and before they knew it, Tokoyami had won. Izuku saw Yaoyorozu's face when she walked away from the arena. It was full of self-doubt and disappointment. He just couldn't do nothing. Before he knew it, he was running to get to her. He wondered why. Midoriya, who do you think will win the next ma? Hey, where is Midoriya? Uraraka asked her classmates. He was just here a second. Gojiro said. Don't worry, Midori bro will be back. He probably went for a drink, Kirishima reassured everyone. Izuku and Momo were just classmates. Even though being the class's president and vice president, they didn't talk much. They were even in different friend groups. Izuku respected Momo because of her quirk and high intellect. They weren't friends but just classmates. Still, he just couldn't help himself. His legs had started moving on their own. It was like when he ran towards the sludge villain, but at the same time it was very different. He heard crying on his right and started towards it. Momo was done for. She had lost such an easy match. Those girls were right. I don't deserve to be here, she broke down crying. Such a slut. She probably slept with the principal. She doesn't deserve to be in hero course. Momo remembered all those words. She was crying when she heard someone, "Mind if I sit here?" Momo had thought that someone would have came to find her eventually, but so soon? And the voice belonged to a boy. She had expected it to be Kyoka or Mina, but a boy. Never in her dreams. She looked up to see who it was. It was none other than Midoriya, the boy who was shy and had the strangest quirks she had ever seen. Izuku sat beside her. I know how you feel. Your defeat from Tokoyami has well filled you with self-doubt and disappointment. How do I know this? Well, because I've dealt with it my whole life. I know how it is. It brings your confidence down so much you begin to feel that no one likes you and is disappointed in you. It's only recently that I have become proud of who I am. So what you lost? Learn from it. I mean, you are Momo Yaoyorozu. You are amazing. You are probably the smartest girl in UA. Many people forget that your quirk doesn't give you enhanced memory, but you still learn all the structures. You probably have worked hard for so many years. And didn't you get in through recommendations? Now he is going to say I cheated when I got in through recommendations, Momo thought. That just means that you are already one step ahead of us. Momo was shocked. How about this? I'll make you a deal. After I win the sports festival, we'll both train together to be the best heroes in the world. While saying this, Izuku stood up and offered his hand to Momo. Momo took his hand, still sobbing lightly. What she did next caught Izuku off guard. She hugged him. Thank you, Saba Midoriya. You have no idea how much those words meant to me. It's alright, everyone deserves some type of confidence boost when they have worked really hard for it. Now never frown, always smile. Izuku consoled her and hugged her back. Momo realized what she was still hugging him and abruptly broke the hug and blushed 50 shades of red. I am sorry for that. It's alright, Yaoyorozu. Now come on, people might be getting worried where you are. Midoriya, promise me something. You won't hurt yourself badly when you try to win. I'll try my best. When they reached the stands, Midoriya asked, so who won? Kirishima or Tetsusu? It ended in a draw. Where were you, Midoriya? Uraraka asked him. I was just gone for a drink, yeah? Okay, where is Ida? His match is next, isn't it? Midoriya, his match is going on right now. Uraraka pointed towards the arena. Oh, my bad. I didn't notice. Tell me, Izuku, normally when talking to girls or just talking in general you stutter and embarrass yourself. But you just gave a whole speech to the prettiest girl in your class. I have no idea. Where were you, Yamamoto? Mina asked her. Oh, I was just gone for a drink, yeah? Oh, okay, Mina replied. Yes, sure, use the same excuse as Midoriya. Now tell me, are you okay? Kyoka whispered to Momo. Why will you think I'm not okay? Because you've been crying. I can see it on your face. Okay, I was crying but now I'm better, really. With that, Momo smiled, which automatically assured Kyoka that her friend was indeed fine. Tenya Ida has been knocked out and Katsuki Bakugo wins. Midnight announced. Oh no, Ida will be broken that he lost the match, Uraraka worried. He'll be fine. This is Ida we're talking about. Because of the draw between Kirishima and Tetsu, an arm wrestling match was done in which Kirishima won. Alright everyone. The matchups for the next round are as follows. Midnight pointed to the screen. Izuku Midoriya vs Shoto Todoroki. Achiko Uraraka vs Ibara Shiozaki. Fumikage Tokoyami vs Mina Ishido. Ijiro Kirishima vs Katsuki Bakugo. Izuku was inside the waiting room waiting for his match to begin when someone walked in. Izuku looked up to see Yaoyorozu. Oh, hey Yaoyorozu, what are you doing here? I just wanted to come and say good luck. And do you have a plan to defeat Todoroki? I know what I'm going to do. I will fight ice with fire. With fire? Momo was confused. Oh, why don't you wait and watch? With that, it was time for his match. He walked out with Yaoyorozu only to be met by Endeavor. Hey kid, I want you to give my son a tough match. Listen here, Endeavor, I am not All Might. Endeavor was confused, you know, sure dash. And Todoroki is not you. So let him live his own life. Do you know who you are talking to? Yes. The number 2 hero. You don't even deserve to be called a hero. Think about what you have done to your family, abusing them for years. Before Endeavor could say anything else, Izuku took Momo's hand and got out of here. Have I really done all that? Oh shit. I have to improve myself. What was that all about? Had to tell him that he is wrong and should act like a real father. Well, my match is starting, I should get going. Bye. Izuku ran off to the arena. The first match of the second round is between the winner of the previous events Izuku Midoriya versus Endeavor's son Shoto Todoroki. 3, 2, 1, start. Midnight started the fight. Todoroki used his ice move straight away. There's no way he is getting out of it, Siro said to no one in particular. Yep, the match is already over, Kaminari sighed. Midoriya will win, you just wait and watch. Momo declared. Jiro was surprised at this sentence. But how Yamamoto? Minus. You just wait and watch. Todoroki smirked. Easy win. The winner of this match Midnight was cut off by Present Mike. What is that? Present Mike yelled while pointing to a glowing figure in the ice. The ice melted to reveal Izuku. Aizawa, seriously, what are your students? Is that Midoriya? Kaminari asked. Since when does that Deku has a fire quirk? I will end him. Although Momo had said that Midoriya was going to win, she still had some doubt, but now seeing him like this she decided never to underestimate him. What? How? Todoroki was appalled. You still think you can beat me with only your ice? Todoroki proceeded to spam his ice only for it to be melted. Todoroki, look at yourself. You are shivering and you still haven't even made a bruise on me. Todoroki realized that Izuku was right. It's your effing quirk. If it was his fire, he would have been using it. It's your quirk, not his. Todoroki started having flashbacks of when he was little. Tell me, Todoroki, do you want to be a hero? I want to be a hero. As Todoroki said this, he started tearing up. Izuku transformed back into a human and embraced Todoroki in a hug. It's alright, let it all out. You have been bottling up your emotions for too long. What is going on there? Midoriya is hugging Todoroki? Present Mike was confused. Now I understand what he is trying to do. Aizawa said. And what is that? Stop yelling and watch, you'll get to know. Izuku let go of Todoroki and flames started coming out of his left side. Izuku grinned. Now that's what I want. Shitu. Finally, you realize. Now we can train together and you can achieve the goal which you were created for, Endeavor yelled in excitement, to which Todoroki just showed his middle finger to him. Was that your plan all along, Midoriya/young Midoriya? Momo and All Might thought. Now, it's time to finish this. Izuku transformed into 4 arms and charged 30% OFA and ran towards Todoroki. Todoroki, because he didn't know how to exactly use his fire, just shot it randomly but failed to hit Midoriya. Izuku punched him in his gut and he went flying. Todoroki used his ice in the last second to save himself so that he didn't go out of bounds. Midnight, we have to stop this match before they both destroy each other, Cementos said. Before Midnight could go and use her quirk to knock both of them out, they both charged on each other. Smoke filled the arena and if I cannot see anything, how will I commentate? The smoke cleared out to see that Todoroki was out of bounds and there was a Todoroki-sized crater in the wall. Izuku rushed to him when he heard, Thank you Izuku, and Todoroki fainted. He used my first name, does it mean that he finally thinks of me as a friend? Why did you stretch the match so much? Why help him? I'll never understand you Izuku. I helped him get rid of his past demons. Essence of being a hero is to meddle in others' business. Izuku carried Shoto to Recovery Girl's room. You just had to beat him up badly. Recovery Girl scolded Izuku and hit him on the head with her cane. Ouch, that hurts. Now go shoo. Izuku reached the stands to be greeted by his friends. Midori bro, you are amazing. Kirishima patted his back. How many aliens can you transform into? Manetis. Congratulations Midoriya, came a voice. He looked towards the voice to see Yaoyorozu smiling at him. His eyes met her and Izuku smiled too. They both were broken out of their trance when Kirishima asked, Hey, where's Ida? He had to go. His brother was attacked by the hero Endert. Uraraka answered with concern in her voice. Is he dead? No, he is in critical state in the hospital. Everyone sighed in relief. All right Uraraka. It's your match next, good luck. Uraraka lost against Shiozaki, Tokoyami won against Ishido, and Bakugo won against Kirishima. I am lazy. In the semifinals, Izuku won against Shiozaki and Bakugo against Tokoyami. I'm being lazy again, laughing face. Well, Bakugo, are you ready to lose? Shut up, Deku. I'll end you. Only in your wildest dreams, Bakugo. 3, 2, 1, start. Midnight started the match. Izuku transformed into Diamond Head and waited for Bakugo to rush. Bakugo was coming towards Izuku and was going to punch him when Izuku caught his arm and flipped him. Tsich, you always start a fight with a right hook? Bakugo was angry and blasted his face. That tickles. Izuku tried to kick Bakugo but he dodged. This went on for a while when Omnitrix started beeping. Oh no, Izuku thought. Before he knew it, he was back in human form. Okay, I can't let him know that my time limit is up. Hey Bakugo, I'ma go easy on you now. Time for my final move, Howitzer Impact, and Izuku simultaneously charged OFA 100% in his arm, smash. Both of them collided with each other. Bakugo was hit in his stomach and Izuku was also blasted because of Bakugo's gauntlet. Midoriya! Momo shouted. Jiro noticed her concern. Midnight went to the ground to see what was the result. She saw Izuku half standing half sitting, while Bakugo was knocked out. I won and then he blacked out. Where am I? Izuku opened his eyes and was smacked in the head. You broke your arm again. So who won? You did. Now there are 2 people outside waiting for you. I'm letting them in. The door opened to reveal a worried Uraraka and Yaoyorozu. Midoriya. Are you alright? Uraraka asked. Before Izuku could reply, a phone rang. Sorry, I have to take this. With that, Uraraka went out. You idiot! Momo exclaimed while hitting him in the head. What is it with everyone hitting me? You promised not to injure yourself. Oh come on, I just broke one arm, but just received a glare from her. Okay, I'm sorry. But I won the tournament, so I did accomplish something. Yes, and congrats for winning the tournament. I'm happy for you. An awkward silence filled the place. Izuku decided to break it by asking a question. Yaoyorozu, will we be friends after today? Momo was surprised at his question and answered, of course. And to prove it to you, here have my number. With that she created a piece of paper and a pen and wrote her number on it and gave it to him. Izuku also gave her his number. Anyways, I should get going and congrats again on winning. Lost. I lost from that useless Deku. How? That son of a beach has gotten stronger than me. He was just a pebble in my path. No, he is still a pebble in my path. I will show him that I'm stronger than him and end him. This time he won just because of a fluke. Yes, only a fluke. Bakugo tried getting up. WTF is this pain? You were given quite a beating, Sonny. For ribs broken, your jaw fractured, recovery girl said. That's it, I will show Deku what his rightful place is. Aizawa, can I talk to you? Izuku asked his teacher. Sure, what do you need? I wanted to talk to you about my Neta. He doesn't do anything except perverted actions. Today too, he told all the girls to wear cheerleading outfits, which they did. If it wasn't for Yaoyorozu, all of them would have been embarrassed in front of the whole world. Then there's Hitoshi Shinso, the boy who I fought against in the first round. He has a good quirk, but he depends on it too much. His quirk like you doesn't help him fight, so he needs training. I think he deserves a chance to be in hero course. What I am proposing is either expel or transfer my Neta and bring Shinso in 1A. Problem child, you are the first kid who I've seen that is helping all students. I am proud of you. I will call Nezu right now. After Aizawa hung up his phone, he told Izuku while grinning, it's done. Thank you, sensei. During the medal distribution, Bakugo refused to take his medal and All Might while giving the medal to Izuku said, you just seem to amaze me more and more every day, Izuku. You even helped young Todoroki to get past his issues. I really am proud of you. That evening Shoto opened the door to his house and was going to his room when he heard a familiar voice. No, it can't be. He decided to check the living room. What? How? And tears started falling from his face. I am back, Shoto, for good? Shoto's mom said, and then Shoto heard his father's voice. Shoto, I am sorry. I realized what I was doing and am now trying to fix all the mistakes. Izuku went home to see someone's shoes on the doorstep. Mom, do we have guests? Yes, I invited Toshinori for dinner to celebrate today's victory. Yeah, I'm not sure she invited him just to celebrate. Benshu. After dinner, Izuku said, Toshinori-sensei, can I talk to you in private? Sure, Izuku. After they went outside, Izuku told him what happened in the first round against Shinso. I think perhaps you heard. One of the previous users of OFA. Is that even possible? Yes, I have once myself heard them. Ok, then thanks for telling me, and All Might, I wanted to talk to you about my mother. What about her? I have seen the way you look at her and the way she looks at you. My mother is happy when she's around you, and I can say the same for you. So I just wanted to say you have my permission to date her. Izuku's voice changed suddenly, but if you do anything to break her heart, I swear I will join all for one and hunt you. With that, Izuku said one last thing, bye, and then walked off but looked behind once just to see All Might shaking. I think he sheet his pants. Good. A beep came from his phone and he saw a message from Momo. They chatted some more. In the Yaoyorozu mansion, Momo put down her phone to see that she has been talking to him for more than an hour. Wow, time sure does fly fast. She remembers all the events that occurred today, but one sentence is stuck in her mind, which is, never frown, always smile. Why do I feel like someone has said these words to me before? But Momo couldn't wrap her head around it, so she shrugged it off and slept. Izuku finally put his phone down to see the time. Wow, I texted her for more than an hour. Izuku remembered the hug for some reason. He just felt familiar when he got the hug. Hey Ben, can you search my memories and see if I have ever met Yaoyorozu before? You big doofus, I don't need to search your memories. What do you mean? Bring your school bag. Izuku picked up his bag from his table. Now see the main zip. There is a keyring attached to it. Izuku saw the keyring and his jaw dropped on the floor. No way. Yes way. Why didn't you tell me before? I thought you knew he. I have got to talk to her tomorrow about this. Maybe she also remembers me? Izuku was on his usual train to today because he, being the dumb boy he is, forgot about XR8. How many times I have to tell you? Use XLR8 foot. I'm sorry, I just forget about it. SMH. I can't believe yesterday I texted somebody for more than an hour. And that to a girl. Yeah, even I can't believe that. Both of them had just talked about random things, hobbies, studies, quirks. Izuku was thankful to start the conversation because he couldn't have ever done that. It felt nice talking to someone. He saw a newspaper in someone's hand and saw a headline that caught his eye. Pro Hero Ingenium, still hospitalized after the attack from the Hero Ender. He would have to talk to Ida as his friend. Pissed, hey kids, someone nudged him. Izuku looked towards him. I knew it. You are Midoriya, the kid who won the sports festival. Izuku blushed. Thank you. You are shorter in person. Can I have your autograph? That's one strong quirk you got there, buddy. Izuku thanked everyone, and thankfully his stop came before people could ask him more questions. Seriously, how does All Might handle all this attention? Plus I only won the festival. What will happen once I become the #1 hero? While Izuku was walking towards Udare, it started raining. Thankfully, due to reading the forecast before, he had brought an umbrella with him. When he reached the school, he saw Ida coming, wearing a poncho. Ida-te, are you alright? I heard about your brother. Is he fine? Yes, he's gonna recover. I'm sorry for worrying you. Now come on, we are going to be late. There are still 5 minutes before the first bell rings. Udada students should be at least 10 minutes early. Okay, now I know he's not alright, but I guess I should give him some space. Izuku entered the class and was greeted by Momo. Good morning, Midoriya. Good morning, Yaoyorozu. How are you doing? Well, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Jiro observed the conversation carefully and then took Momo with her. Okay, what's going on between you two? What do you mean, Kyoka? Till yesterday, you basically just knew each other's names. What exactly happened yesterday between you two? He just helped me and we became friends. Is that a problem with you? Because last I checked, I never had to ask you to approve my friends. With that, Momo left angrily. Why is Mineta's seat empty? Kirishima asked. That's because he got expelled, Izuku answered. What? Everyone in unison. Yeah, I told Aizawa-sensei what he did yesterday regarding the cheerleading outfits and he got expelled. Thank you, Midoriya, Ashido exclaimed. Yaoyorozu just smiled at him and he smiled back at her, which was cough seen by Uraraka, who felt jealous. But then why is his seat still here? Kaminari asked. That's because a new student is coming to our class from general education course, Izuku again answered. Hello Gran Torino, it's Toshinori. I was calling to ask whether you would intern Izuku Midoriya? Toshinori, I would have sent a request but I'm a little busy with something. Sorry. Oh, it's okay. It was good talking to you again. Bye. Well, I hope Izuku finds a good agency/hero to intern with, Toshinori thought. Good morning. Now sit down everyone, came the all too familiar monotone voice of Aizawa. Today we have a new student, he pointed to an indigo-haired student. Introduce yourself. Hello, I am Hitoshi Shinso and I am here to become a hero. He saw Izuku waving at him and he smiled back. He went to the only free seat in the class and then whispered to Izuku, thanks. For what? For getting me into hero course. I didn't do that. It was you who did that yourself. Sure you didn't. But still, thanks. You reminded me that I still wanted to be a hero. Okay now sure everyone. Today we are going to do something important regarding hero class. A man not a pop quiz, thought everyone except Ida, Izuku, Yaoyorozu, Bakugo and Todoroki. But first, Aizawa showed everyone a screen. Here are all the offers that students got for internships. The gap between the top 3 and the rest is high this year, but that's just because you all need to work hard more. Izuku Midoriya, 2567. Shoto Todoroki, 2301. Katsuki Bakugo, 1500. Momo Yaoyorozu, 267. Achicho Uraraka, 139. Eijiro Kirishima, 102. What about the rest of us? Kaminari asked. I am sorry to say, but the rest of you didn't receive any offers. But that doesn't mean you will not go for an internship. Everyone who didn't get an offer sighed in relief. Although Bakugo was second in the tournament, he still received less offers than Todoroki? Kirishima asked. That's because no one wants a hothead, Kaminari said. You shut up. At least I got offers unlike you. Izuku was surprised. 2,567 people wanted him. Finally you are realizing that your own worth is. Izuku was scanning his offers when he saw a name that caught his eye. Endeavor. The number 2 hero wanted him even after what he said to him. Hey Shoto. Who are you going with? Izuku asked Shoto. I'm going with my father. I have to train with my flames. What a coincidence. I am going with Endeavor too. Wait, what? My father, Endeavor, sent you an offer? Hey, I'm powerful too, you know. No, it's not that. I know you are very powerful. It's just that my father has never sent an offer to anyone before. Now it was time for Izuku's eyes to widen. You see, before our match, I said some things to him. Are you sure that he doesn't want to end me? Izuku asked nervously. No, of all the things, he is not a ender. Now before you do anything else, we are going to choose your hero names. Why? Everyone shouted in excitement. But be sure what you choose because that's what people are gonna call you for the rest of your lives. As I'm not good enough for this, he was cut off by midnight. That's why I'm going to assist you in selecting your hero names. One by one students came. Some names were accepted, some were not. The Bakugo came and showed his name, King Explosion and no. Please choose another name, Bakugo. Then Ida came with his name written. Are you sure? Midnight asked. Yes. Then Shoto's turn came and he showed his name to everyone. Hellfrost, it's a nice name, you are good to go. Who is left? Yes. Izuku, come here and show us your name. Izuku walked to the front of the class and saw Yaoyorozu, Shoto, and Uraraka smiling at him as if saying, go ahead, whatever name you choose, it will be a good name. Izuku showed his name to the class. 1 for 10. Sounds good. That means every one of you except Bakugo is done. Hey Yaoyorozu, who are you going with? Izuku asked Momo. I'm going with Uwabami. I really think you should go with someone else. Why? Uwabami is a hero who basically does modeling and commercials. If you want some real hero experience, I suggest you look for someone else. Momo started shuffling through her offers. Wait. Izuku yelled. What happened? Momo worried. Izuku pointed towards an offer from Ed Shot. Oh. This must be some mistake. Shut. The number 5 hero sent me an offer. Not possible. No, Yaoyorozu. If Endeavor sent me an offer, then anything can happen. But you are really powerful. Same can be said about you. Yaoyorozu, you don't realize that you are as worthy as me, if not more. As I previously told you too, it's just one loss. Your strategic skills and your quirk are both really good. Thank you again, Midoriya. No problem. Oh, and Yaoyorozu, I need to talk to you in private. Meet me after school in the training ground where Aizawa took the quirk test on our first day. Momo, I'm sorry about earlier. I was just worried that you have found a new best friend and that I'd lose you. Jiro apologized. It's okay, Kyoka, but why would you ever think that? Even if I get a new best friend, that doesn't mean that I'll forget you. During lunch, Izuku was sitting alone when Shoto came towards him and said, Izuku, mind if I sit here? Not at all, he smiled at him. After a minute, Yaoyorozu and Jiro came. Midoriya, may we sit here? Go ahead. He saw Shinso just standing in the middle of the cafeteria. Hey Shinso, why don't you join us here? Shinso gladly came. Everyone talked and had a fun time with each other. The end of the school came and Momo got ready to meet Izuku. Why would he have called me? Is he going to tell me that I'm not a good friend? Is he going to tell me that he doesn't want to be friends? Why am I worrying so much about this? Momo was broken out of her thoughts by Izuku. Hey, he said. Hey, why'd you call me here? I wanted to show you something, Izuku said and then took of his bag. Momo was curious to see what it was. Then Izuku showed Momo his keyring, which was on the zip of his bag. Momo saw the keyring and her eyes widened. Now she remembered why the sentence Izuku said yesterday was so similar. Because he had said the same sentence to her years ago. Momo suddenly took off her own bag and started to find something. She then took out an All Might figure and Izuku felt really happy on the inside. You still kept it? They both asked each other simultaneously. Without thinking, Momo just went and hugged her. I'm sorry I couldn't recognize you before, Izuku said and then continued. If you don't mind, it's getting difficult for me to breathe. Momo realized she was hugging him and left him and started blushing. I am sorry. I was just really happy. No one's been this happy to see me. Ever, Izuku chuckled. This just made Momo blush even more. I'd really like to talk more, but I have to go. I'll text ya, Momo said while running towards the gate. What is going on with me? I have never hugged a boy before, except 10 years ago when she hugged Izuku, and now suddenly I hugged a boy twice in 2 days. She reached home and saw her mother. Her mother saw how happy she was and asked her, what happened today? You are looking very happy. Momo took out the All Might figurine, showed it to her mom and told her excitedly, I finally met him. Who? All Might? No, that boy. Oh, that boy. So, what's his name? Izuku Midoriya. Wait, isn't he the one who won the sports festival? Momo just nodded many times. My daughter is so in love, her mother thought. Momo picked up her phone to see a message from Izuku. The next day, Izuku went up to Ida. Hey Ida, a bunch of us were going to the mall today and we're wondering if you'd like to come too? I'm sorry Midoriya, but I'll have to decline. I have to spend time with my brother. Of course. I am sorry to disturb you. Shoto, Kirishima, Kaminari, Siro, Sato, Koda, Aoyama, would you all like to go to the mall today? Can't, they all said. Oh well, let's go and tell Yaoyorozu about this. So none of the girls agreed? Nope, all of them were busy. Same with the guys. An awkward silence filled between them. So, Izuku trailed off but continued, why you still want to go to the mall? Yeah, I do have some stuff to buy, she sighed. Alright, let's go after school. Should I do it? This is basically the most important decision of my life. Oh man, I have never done this. Calm down Toshinori, you are the symbol of peace. This is just an easy thing. You can do it, Toshinori sighed as he spoke to himself. After walking around the room, he finally decided to do it. This thing is going to change my life if it goes the right way. Alright, here goes nothing, he said and dialed the number. Hello, came the voice from the other end. Hey, it's me Toshinori. I was wondering if Hello Toshinori, Wait, I can't hear you. Let me go out of the house for a better signal. Alright, I'm out now. What were you going to say? So, I was wondering, if you'd like to go out for dinner with me as in a D-date? Hello? Are you there? I'd love to go out with you for dinner, Toshinori. Alright, I'll text you the details later. So Yaoyorozu, you ready? Sure, let's walk to the mall. Sometime later when they reached the mall. Oh come on, it's not that funny, Izuku whined. Momo couldn't stop laughing. Yes it is. Haha. Well, we are here now. So what did you want to buy? Just a bunch of clothes, nothing much. Oh boy, just a bunch of clothes. I have heard those words before. Good luck, Izuku. 2 hours of shopping later. These are just a bunch of clothes? Izuku exclaimed as he showed the number of shopping bags he was holding. You've never gone shopping with a girl, have you? Momo asked in an amusing tone. And I never want to go again, Izuku groaned. Suddenly a growl came from Momo's stomach and her cheeks got red from embarrassment. Izuku chuckled, looks like someone is hungry. Let's go eat something, shall we? Izuku and Momo entered a cafe and ordered something. So, Yaoyorozu, tell me more about your quirk. Well, you already know that my quirk gives me the ability to create any non-living object from my exposed skin by transforming the molecular structure of my fat cells. In order to create something, I need to understand the molecular structure of what the object is made of. The more I eat, the more material I have to work with, so I eat a lot. However, it takes me a longer period of time if the object is large. So that is why your outfit is very revealing. Momo was surprised by his words. You are the first person to actually realize that. People just think my costume is the way it is so that I can show off my assets. She had some trouble saying the sentence. Assets? She means her boobs. Oh, Izuku became flustered as he realized what she meant. Momo quickly decided to change the subject as she saw how uncomfortable Izuku was getting and said, You have a pretty interesting quirk too. A yes dash. Before he could say anything else, the cafe's door opened, which rung a bell attached to the door. Instinctively, Izuku turned his head to see who entered the cafe and mumbled in the hopes Momo couldn't hear him. Oh shit, not him please, but she heard him and turned her head to where Izuku's was. So it is you, Deku. I thought I saw you. Izuku just looked down, but Momo was confused. The only person calling him Deku was Bakugo. This must mean that they know each other from middle school. Hey man. I wanted to congratulate you on your win of the sports festival. I mean, how? You were quirkless. Nobody believed in you, but you proved us all wrong and got into you to somehow got a quirk, and heck, you even got a hot girlfriend, the person said while pointing towards Momo and continued, I just wanted to say, I am sorry for what all of us did to you in middle school, for making you suffer. I'm just here to say sorry, Dex Midoriya. Momo listened to the person, but some things bothered her. Sure, she got flustered when he said girlfriend, but what bothered her the most were the words, quirkless, and making you suffer. She saw that Izuku's head was still down and looked back at the person who was looking at him, probably waiting for him to accept his apology. Listen, mister, I'd request you to leave us alone, Momo politely requested. The boy was going to say something but then saw a glare coming from Momo and just exited the cafe. Throughout this scene, Izuku was still silent and looking down. Why did he had to come? But now she'll think I'm a loser and never talk to me again. Momo stood up and sat beside Izuku. Izuku blushed as Momo's shoulders brushed against his. Midoriya? She trailed off. Can we just go, please? Just hear me out first, okay? Izuku stayed silent, so she took it as a green light and proceeded ahead. I don't know who the person was, but by the looks of it, he was your classmate from middle school? Izuku just nodded and she continued. And I know it's not my business prying into your past, but if you talk to someone, it will help. And I just want you to know that I'm here to listen. And Izuku was deep in his thoughts. I want to tell her, but should I? Do I trust her? Aha. I think you should tell her. It'll feel better, I promise. As Izuku stayed silent, Momo thought he wasn't going to say anything and got up but was stopped by an arm. Wait. I'll tell you, he sighed. Momo sat beside Izuku again. It all started when I was 4 years old. I went to the doctor to see what kind of quirk I would. During the visit, the doctor said that I wouldn't get a quirk. All because I had 2 joints in my pinky toe. I was heartbroken. All my dreams of becoming a hero like All Might were shattered. Even my mom indirectly said that I couldn't become a hero. The next day, Bakugo asked me what kind of quirk I was getting. When he got to know I was quirkless, he started calling me Deku, meaning useless. Every child in school started calling me Deku too, even teachers. They basically beat me up every day using their quirks. I came back with bruises every day. A tear fell off his cheek. Didn't why you talk to anyone? There was no one to talk to. I once told my mother, but it only made things worse. You, Ida and Uraraka are kind of my only friends. Momo couldn't help and she silently started sobbing too. It was hell, Yaoyorozu, straight 10 years of hell. Did you ever dash? Momo was cut off. I never inflicted self-harm. But one day, it was the last day of middle school and I was minding my own business when Bakugo burnt my hero analysis notebook and said, "Why don't you take a swan dive off the roof? Maybe you'll get lucky and get a quirk in your next life." I don't know if it was the way he said the words or what, my body just started moving on its own. Before I knew it, I was on the roof of my school and was going to walk off when I realized what I was doing. I was disgusted at myself, to say the least. I always thought and wondered why people committed suicide and thought it was pointless, and there I was trying to end myself. But thankfully I realized. Later that day, something else happened too. There still was a little hope inside me that I could become a hero, but then the same day, I met All Might, who basically said that I cannot become a hero. All my hope was shattered. All Might said that he couldn't become a hero. All Might said that. Momo thought and hugged him, and Izuku noticed that she was crying. Before he could say anything, Momo asked, still sobbing, But how sob? I can see that you have a Q quirk." The next day after meeting All Might, "BW, don't worry about All Might, he made it up to me. So, me and All Might are fine now." "Yeah, where was I?" "Ah, yes. The next day I got my quirk when I suddenly transformed into Diamond Head." "Diamond, who?" "You see, it's the name of one of my aliens. Don't worry, I'll explain them to you in detail afterward." So that day, I resolved that I'll become a hero and prove everyone wrong. So I started training, and 5 months later, I somehow got my second quirk. Because I got it so late in life, I am not so much accustomed to it, but I can still use it at like 8% in human form. And here I am, I got into you, finally got friends and won the tournament that basically the whole world watches. Izuku said, smiling. He wiped a tear off of Momo's cheeks. "I'm sorry for making you cry, Yaoyorozu." "Oh, Izuku." She realized that she called him by his first name and apologized. I am sorry for calling you by your first name." It's alright. You can call me Izuku." Then you have to call me Momo." He has gone through literal hell and is still smiling, whereas I was broken only by some rude comments. I am truly ashamed of myself, Momo thought, but what she didn't know, she accidentally said all that aloud. "It's alright, Momo. Don't need to be ashamed of yourself." "Did I just say that aloud?" Momo asked and blushed a little when he called her name. "Yes," he chuckled. Their order finally arrived and they ate it. "Will you look at the time?" Momo exclaimed. "Wow, time sure does fly fast." Izuku then noticed the amount of bags she had. Momo, want me to walk with you to your home?" "Why, yeah, alright." You picked up the bags and started on your way. When they reached Momo's house, Izuku placed the bags beside the huge gate. "Wow, you have a huge house," Momo just giggled. Then Izuku suddenly took her hand and Momo started blushing furiously. "Thank you for today, Momo. It felt nice to get all that stuff off my chest, and I'm glad you didn't run away." "Why would I run away?" "I don't know." "Well, anyway, thanks. And have a good night." "Izuku, wait." Momo called out to him. He turned back and looked at her. "I forgot to give you this." She took a shirt out of the bag. The shirt said All M. "When did you buy this?" "When you weren't looking. I thought you may like it," she said while passing the shirt to him. "I love it," he thanked her again. With that, Izuku turned and started for his own house. Unbeknownst to them, Momo's mother was watching them and smirking. "I'm home," no reply. "Huh," she didn't reply. "Is anything wrong?" Izuku went to the kitchen and found a note on the fridge which said, "Izuku, I'm not here and probably will return late. I have gone out on a date with Tashinori." Izuku's eyes widened. I didn't think he'd seriously take my advice and ask her out on a date. Well, as long as mom is happy, Izuku smiled. Alright, students, gather up, Aizawa said as they reached the train station. Todoroki and Midoriya, you go to train A, Ida you go to train B, Yaoyorozu, Ishido, and Kirishima you go to train C? He proceeded to tell the others, and Izuku tuned them off when Momo walked up to him. So, good luck on your internship, Izuku. Good luck to you too, and remember this, be on guard when you enter the building. I've heard Ed Shot likes to test his interns a lot. Well, here comes my train. See ya in a week, Momo. Bye, Izuku. But before Izuku left, he said something to Ida. Ida, we both are friends, right? Just know that we can talk anytime. Yes, I know, Midoriya. Thanks a lot, he replied. Izuku, come fast or the gates will close. Shoto yelled. Izuku ran, but as soon as he stepped inside the train, the gates closed. In the train, both Izuku and Shoto were sitting silently when Shoto thanked Izuku again. Izuku, I just wanted to say thank you again if it would dash. It's really okay, Shoto, but Shoto continued, if you didn't do what you did, all my life I would have lived without using my left side. What you did, it really opened my eyes, and whatever you said to my father, it worked too. I'm glad I could be of help. Plus I got another good friend too, he said while smiling. At the sight of this, Shoto couldn't help himself but smile. After a while, they arrived at their location, from which they walked to a house. Shoto, are you sure we are at the right location? Yes, why? Because it seems we are going to a house. Yes, it's my house. Izuku just got more confused at this. I thought we were going to a big building or something. My father thought to train here was a better idea. Oh, okay then. Shoto rang the bell. A woman who looked in her early 20s opened the door. Oh hey Shoto, she said, then looked at Izuku and was amazed. Oh hello there, then looked at Shoto and said, well that's a first. Shoto Todoroki bringing a friend home, then looked back at Izuku and introduced herself. Hello, my name is Fuyumi Todoroki and it's good to see Shoto is finally making some friend. Izuku bowed and introduced himself too. Hello, my name is Izuku Midoriya. It's nice to meet you. Oh, I recognize you. You won the sports festival, didn't you? Yes, I did. Fuyumi, we are here for the internship, Shoto told her sister. Wait, what? Father sent out offers for internships? Fuyumi got wide-eyed. Yes. That was my exact reaction too. They went inside and had some tea when Endeavor walked in and greeted Izuku. He bowed towards Izuku and said, Midoriya, I am thankful to you. You made me realize what I've been doing all these years, and I hope that I can improve myself as a father and train both of you too in this week. I hope I can learn a lot from you. Momo was standing in front of the agency. Remember what Izuku told you. Stay on guard. Let's do this. She entered the building and was greeted by the receptionist. Hello, how may I help you? I'm Momo Yaoyorozu and I'm here for my internship. Oh yes, I was informed that you would be coming. Just wait for a minute. Here, take this pass, go towards the elevator, 4th floor. Momo walked towards the lift and pressed the button. The lift came and she went inside. Suddenly she was attacked by some shurikens, but thanks to Izuku's warning, she had her guard up and was able to make a shield in time. Not bad at all, came a voice from one corner of the elevator. It's Momo shrieked. Calm down, it's me, Shot. I was just testing you and you passed. Congrats. Thanks. They reached the 4th floor and the doors of the elevator opened. Here is your room, get changed and we'll start training. After changing, she saw Ed Shot waiting for her and Momo asked him a question. Why did you choose me? What do you mean? I mean for the internship, why me? I lost the match, didn't I? So what if you lost a match? I saw you at the whole festival. You have a lot of potential, Yaoyorozu, and much of it already shows, but you still need to train more. Now let's do some hand-to-hand combat and see how you do. This started, but unfortunately, Momo was knocked down immediately. Okay, so you need some practice. Don't worry, you'll learn. Not like this, do it like this, both of you. Endeavor scolded Izuku, Heat Blast, and Shoto. Endeavor was teaching them how to use their flames. Then suddenly, beep beep came from the Omnitrix and Izuku transformed back. Either no one heard the beep or chose to ignore it, and I'm thankful for that. I don't know how I will explain. Why did you change back, Midoriya? Endeavor asked. If I stay in an alien form for more than 10 minutes, I'll be stuck in the 4 forever. So I change back. I have to wait for 5 minutes before changing back? Technically, it's not a lie. Now, that's a bad drawback. Shoto, you continue shooting flames. Midoriya, let's spar in the meantime. I can use my quirk, right? Yes, but didn't you just say that you need 5 minutes? Without replying, Midoriya charged full cowling 8% and green lightning surrounded him. Endeavor's eyes widened. Why you have more than one quirk? Let's start, shall we? Izuku replied and took a fighting stance. Endeavor started towards him and was about to throw a punch when Izuku just sidestepped. But Endeavor was fast and changed his direction the last second and hit Izuku in his stomach. Ouch, that hurt. Endeavor stepped in front of him thinking that Izuku was done, but when he reached closer, Izuku jumped up, hitting Endeavor in his chest with his legs, which caused him to be thrown back. Endeavor recomposed himself and started to run towards Izuku. This time, Izuku jumped over him and punched Endeavor in the back, which caused him to fall. Izuku was then going to punch Endeavor again, but Endeavor took his arm and flipped him over and said, "Not bad, kid, not bad." With that, he helped Izuku up. That was a good practice, Izuku said as he wiped the sweat off his face. Meanwhile, Shoto was observing the fight. How is he so powerful? I have to train more if I ever want to be on the same level as him. He must have trained his whole life. Shoto asked him, "Izuku, were you using your whole power?" Izuku shook his head. This caught the attention of Endeavor, who then asked, "Wait, you mean that wasn't your full power?" "No, my body cannot fully handle my quirk, so right now, I can only use about 8% of it. If I use more than that, I'll break all the bones in my body." Both Shoto and Endeavor's eyes widened. That was just 8%? Are you even human, Izuku? Shoto asked. Izuku scratched the back of his neck. Yes. Alright kids, that's it for today. Shoto, please show Midoriya his room. Focus, Yaoyorozu. If you won't focus, you won't be able to do this. Yaoyorozu was currently blindfolded and Edgeshot was teaching her to use her senses to sense and dodge attacks. Alright, this isn't working. So think of something or someone who makes you happy. For some reason Momo's mind wandered towards Izuku, the emerald-eyed boy who had basically picked up all the broken pieces of her confidence and glued it together by saying just a few words. How she'd gotten close to him in just a couple of days. She was broken out of her train of thought. Yaoyorozu, Earth to Yaoyorozu. Hey, what? You kind of spaced out there? Yeah, I was just thinking. About something that makes you happy, I presume? Kind of. I don't know actually. Whatever it is that you're thinking about, just think about it for 2 minutes. Find your happy place and then focus. Yaoyorozu tried to focus, then suddenly her hand shot out to block Edgeshot's hand. She took off her blindfold and saw him grinning. That's more like it. Now it's getting a little late. That's it for today. You can go to your room. Momo was getting bored, so she called Kyoka, who didn't pick up. So she called Izuku next, who picked up and answered, "Oh hey Momo. What's up? I was just bored. So how is your internship going?" "Very good actually. I first learned some tricks for Heat Blast, and then sparred Endeavor. He defeated me, but it was a good spar." "That's good. Heat Blast's the one with the flames, right?" "Yeah." "So how is your internship going on?" "Your advice actually helped me pass a test. When I got here, I was ambushed with a bunch of shurikens which I was able to deflect using a shield. After that Edgeshot, and I trained a little bit in which I was blindfolded and had to defend myself using my other senses. I told you that he likes to test. Glad my advice worked. And about that training, it's very effective. That way your other senses will also be useful in a fight in the background. Izuku. Dinner is ready. Sorry Momo, I gotta go. Alright, but was that Todoroki? Yes. I was surprised that we are going to his house and not the agency building or something. Bye and good night Momo. Bye. She ended the call. Who was that? Todoroki asked because he was curious. Oh, it was just Momo. Shoto smirked and said, Momo Huts, he said while quoting Momo. Yes, what's the problem? Nothing Izuku, nothing. Shoto's smirk turned into a laugh. Ha bro, you are so dense. Ben also joined in the laugh. What is that supposed to mean, Ben? But no reply came. But Izuku still smiled as he saw Shoto laughing. He was glad that Shoto was becoming more of a human and showing his emotions instead of the cold expression which he often wore. His laugh was interrupted by Izuku's phone ringing and he saw it was All Might. I gotta take this Shoto. It'll just take a minute. A young Izuku, how is your internship going? And by the way, I never asked who you went with. Hey Toshinori-sensei, I went with Endeavor and it's going good. Endeavor, huh? Yes, and I heard about your date. So how'd it go? It was lovely. Your mother had a great time too. Good. And remember our little talk, right? If you break her heart. Why yeah, it hopefully won't happen. Well, it was nice talking to you, but I have to go eat dinner. Bye Toshinori-sensei. Today was a good day. Even Endeavor improved. I mean, if that can happen, then anything can. You do not know, but you already have influenced the lives of many people, Izuku. You are going to become a great hero. Ben thought but didn't say that to Izuku. It was the 4th day of the internship. Ida woke up and found Manuel waiting for him. Today we'll be doing some patrolling. So get ready, Ida. This is my chance. I have to find the hero Ender and avenge my brother, Ida thought. While patrolling, there was some silence between Manuel and Ida when Manuel decided to break it. You know, I'm really excited that I am training Ingenium's brother. He is a good man. I'm sorry for what happened to him. But do not take me for a fool, Ida. I can see it on your face. You want revenge, don't you? Ida stayed silent. And that is the only reason you came here. Ida, just know this, revenge isn't the answer. Sure, it'll feel good for a minute or two, then you'll realize your mistake. I think I have made myself clear, haven't I? Ida couldn't meet his gaze. Have I made myself clear? Manuel asked again. Wise. Good. Now let's continue. Meanwhile, somewhere else. And why do you want me to work with you? Because you are a great asset, hero Ender, Stain. You'll play a great role in our plan to defeat the heroes, a raspy voice answered him. And what will be there for me in it? Stain asked again, getting impatient of these fools. You'll have a chance of working with the great master. Without saying anything, Stain dashed towards and cut his arm a little and immobilized him. Why did you do that? First, because you are annoying me. Second, because you are hiding behind a hood. Third, you have no ideals and nothing. Kurogiri stepped forward in order to stop Stain, but the raspy voice interrupted him. Don't, Kurogiri. Please escort Mr. Stain back to Hosu City. Kurogiri opened a portal. Before Stain stepped inside the portal, he lifted the hood of the voice. You're just a kid, exclaimed Stain. Then Kurogiri said, I request you to leave if you don't want things to get more messy. Stain entered the portal and went out. Then another voice came from the TV. Well, that went bad. So what do you want to do with him? Static. Kurogiri, send some Nomus after him. He'll pay for what he did. I'm tired. Shoto exclaimed. Yes, that was some pant training. Izuku was sweating heavily. I think I'll go for a shower. See you in a few, Shoto. Beep came a sound from Izuku's phone. I wonder who messaged, Izuku thought as he picked up his phone from a table. He looked at a message which came from Momo. Ignore the address, I just tapped a random place in Japan, and ignore the time at which the message was received too. Izuku gasped in shock. Shoto, Momo is in trouble. We gotta go now. Before Shoto could reply, Izuku turned to Endeavor. Sir, there's an emergency, and our friend is in trouble. Please grant us permission to use our quirks. Please, Endeavor. All right. Thank you so much. Please meet us at 420 69th Street, Hosu City. Shoto, let's go. Izuku changed into XR8 and told Shoto to climb onto his back. This is probably going to be nauseous. With that he zoomed off. What just happened? Endeavor muttered to himself as he recalled what just happened. Kids these days just run off. Wait. Did he say 420 69th Street Hosu or 69 420th Street Hosu? I think it was the latter. Yeah, it was definitely the latter, Endeavor told himself. Izuku reached the given address, which was an ally in downtown, in 7 minutes. Izuku internally cursed. He had to move slow because he could have hit somebody on the way and also because he had Todoroki was on his back. Speaking of Todoroki, where is he? Izuku thought. He didn't feel Shoto on his back. Ha ha ha. What are you laughing for, Ben? Sorry, I just can't help myself. Don't you realize? You dropped him by mistake somewhere. Well, shit. Momo was unable to move. She had tried fighting Stain but was immobilized by his quirk? Who knows? Aha, so girl, I told you not to interfere, now you are going to watch your friend die. No! Momo screamed as she saw Stain stab Ida and she closed her eyes, because she was scared. She wanted to cry, but couldn't. She had let her classmate down. She couldn't even attack once. Just as Stain was going to stab, a green lightning blur had stopped him. Momo, unable to move her face, couldn't see who the person was. Leave them alone. Momo recognized the voice immediately. It was Izuku. He came? Momo thought. And who might be you? Stain asked. Without replying, Izuku punched Stain and he went flying back. Izuku, don't let him cut you and ingest your blood. You'll be paralyzed, it's his quirk. So you figured it out early, Stain said as he got up. You are just a bunch of children, why are you even here? Listen kid, I'll make you a deal. You walk away and take the girlie with you, but these 2 she said while pointing towards Ida and a pro-hero native, will be mine. Not going to happen. It's a hero's duty to help those in need. Izuku said as he transformed into Diamond Head and taunted Stain. Try to ingest my blood if you even can. Stain threw his dagger towards Izuku but it didn't even scratch him. I see. My quirk won't work on you. But that doesn't mean that I cannot fight hand to hand. But Izuku didn't want to give him a chance. He started spamming crystals towards Stain but he kept dodging, he's fast. And Omnitrix is going to die in 1 minute. Suddenly Momo felt that she could move again and got up and saw Izuku fighting. What do I do? What do I do? I have got it. She was about to say something to Izuku but saw that Izuku ND was back into human form. Momo created some flashbangs and shouted, Izuku. He looked over to her direction and saw some grenade-looking things in her hand. Izuku nodded as he realized her plan. Momo threw the flashbangs towards Stain. Izuku rushed towards where he thought Stain would be but he punched a wall instead. You really think I'm that dumb? Stain laughed. Izuku changed into Diamond Head again. Momo shouted worried because he could be stabbed again. Can't. And Momo, you should be careful as well, you are very vulnerable right now. Momo thought for a minute and then suddenly threw more smoke grenades. Izuku was confused as he didn't understand what was happening this time. Momo closed her eyes and focused and remembered what Edge Shot had taught her. She sensed someone behind him and she straightaway created a bow staff and swung it. Thankfully, the one she hit wasn't Izuku but Stain, who dropped to the ground. Momo then used some shurikens that Edge Shot had given her earlier today and pinned Stain against the wall using them. It's over, Stain, Momo said as she hit him once again, knocking him out. Wow Momo, good work. I'm sorry I was no help. What are you talking about? If you hadn't come here in time, Ida would be dead. Oh, and thanks for coming. I came as soon as I read your message. I appreciate that a lot, Momo said and smiled. Izuku smiled back. Momo then created a rope and tied Stain. It was then that he looked at Momo clearly and saw that Momo was cut badly in her arm and a deep gash on her forehead and the wounds were still bleeding. Momo, your arm and forehead? Oh, it's noth dash, she dropped right there. Momo? Momo. Izuku checked her pulse and to his relief it was there. I think it's because of loss of blood. Shit. I'll call the ambulance. Then Izuku went to see Native and Ida, who were both unconscious but alive. They didn't look as hurt as Momo. Izuku called the ambulance and then saw Endeavor. What happened? Izuku asked. Sorry I'm late. I got the address wrong. Wait, is that Stain? Yes, Momo defeated him but is unconscious with some major injuries, and Ida and the pro-hero there are unconscious too. Where is Shoto? Izuku scratched the back of his neck. A high dropped him somewhere. It's all right, he can handle himself in the city. Suddenly a Nomu came from nowhere and picked up Izuku and flew off. Before Endeavor could do anything, Stain threw a knife and licked the Nomu's blood, which caused the Nomu to fall along with Izuku, who was caught by Endeavor. Stain, just surrender, Endeavor said coldly while putting Izuku down. No. You are a fake hero, Endeavor. The only one worthy to defeat me is All Might. Everyone is fake. He was cut short as he fell down paralyzed. Well, that just happened, Izuku said. Yes, it did. She ended our Nomus. the raspy voice replied while he watched the event unfold from a faraway distance along with Kurogiri. The police and the ambulance arrived shortly after. Stain was arrested and Momo was rushed to the hospital. Izuku was waiting in the hospital to hear about Momo. "Are you with Ms. Yaoyorozu?" a nurse asked Izuku. He nodded and she told him to follow her. She took him to a doctor who explained to Izuku, "Well, she has lost a lot of blood. I'm afraid if she doesn't get more blood, she will die. Her blood group is A, and unfortunately, our hospital has run out of that type of blood or of blood. The amount of time it'll take for the nearest blood bank to give us blood will not be enough for Ms. Yaoyorozu." This was a shock for Izuku. She's going to die. Wait, my blood is alright? That's the only way, he sighed and asked the doctor, "How much blood does she need?" 1.5 liters, the doctor replied nonchalantly. "I'll donate the blood." "Are you mad, child?" "I said I'll do it. My blood type is O-." The doctor sighed, turned to the nurse and said, "Nurse, take him to the room and take his blood." Izuku followed the nurse to some other room and started the process. The nurse told Izuku, "This is a very good thing you are doing for your girlfriend. What she is not my girlfriend. Ha, look at yourself. Not the time, Ben." The nurse chuckled, "Sorry, it was wrong of me to assume. It's still a good thing that you are doing nonetheless. Now try not to faint, okay?" Izuku tried his best as he saw blood being transferred from his body to a tube. His head felt very light. And it's done. With that, Izuku also blacked out. Izuku woke up in an unfamiliar surroundings. "Oh good, you're awake. How much time was I sleeping for?" "It's the next day." "What?" "Oh, and by the way, Ms. Yaoyorozu is awake. Your other friend, Mr. Ida, is also awake too. You can visit them." "Thank you, doctor." Izuku stood up and went to Yaoyorozu's room and knocked. "Come in," a voice came from inside. "Oh, it's you, Izuku. You are awake, good. So how are you feeling?" "Lightheaded, but otherwise I'm fine." "What about you?" "I'm great. Thankfully I don't have a scratch on me." Izuku lied because he was also feeling a little weak because of his blood donation. "So, how did you find Stain yesterday?" Momo then explained to him yesterday's events. "Come on, sleephead, we have to go for patrolling in Hosu," Shot told Momo. "Yawn, all right. Didn't sleep well?" Momo shook her head. "No, I just slept late. I was talking to a friend." She remembered how she and Izuku were arguing whether pineapple on pizza is good or not. "Ah, is that friend a boy?" "Yes, he was a boy." "But WRJ just F friends," Momo stuttered. Shot just chuckled. "By the way, I wanted to give you a gift. For that I need to know your favorite color. Right now, it's green." Shot thought something for a moment, then opened his mouth. "Correct me if I'm wrong, but the kid who won the festival, Izuku Midoriya, isn't the color of his hair green?" Yet Momo said, not understanding what he meant by the question. Shot just smirked and finally said, "All right, time for your gift." Shot then led Momo to his office and took some green shurikens from inside a drawer. "Here. Use them wisely." "Thank you. It's an honor, sensei." "You are welcome. Now let's go to Hosu City." They were walking the streets of Hosu City when they saw Manuel looking for someone. "Hello, Manuel, looking for someone?" Shot asked Manuel. "Hello, Shot. It's just my intern has vanished and is probably looking for Stain to get revenge. I'm worried because Stain is in Hosu right now." "Sorry for asking, but is your intern's name Tenya Ida?" Manuel was surprised. "Yes." "Do you know him?" "Yes, he is my classmate. I think I know where he is gone. I'm going after him." Shot. She started running towards alleyways looking for Ida without waiting for an answer from Shot. Momo found Stain, who was laughing over Ida. "And the rest you know," she told Izuku. "That was brave of you, Momo. You are a great hero. I'm proud and happy that you finally overcame your underconfidence and defeated Stain." "Thank you, Izuku, but as I said before, if you hadn't showed up when you did, I and Ida would probably be dead right now." Another knock came from the door and Momo said, "Come in." It was Ida. "Hey guys." "Ida, what you did yesterday." Izuku was cut off by Ida. "I'm sorry." Izuku cut him off back. "Shut up. What you did yesterday, going for revenge, no hero does that. Plus you endangered not only yours but Momo's life too." Izuku said angrily. Izuku, calm down. Momo tried to calm Izuku down. I truly am sorry, Midoriya. I agree with you. I am no hero. Izuku calmed down and realized what he just said. No, Ida? I am sorry for snapping at you. Everyone makes mistakes. Making one doesn't mean that you're not a hero anymore. Just don't do something like this again. I understand. Just then, Shoto entered the room. Thank God you guys are okay. I was worried. And Izuku, I'm sorry, I was in such a hurry I didn't notice I dropped you. It's all cool, buddy. They talk for a while when a dog person enters the room followed by Endeavor, Edgeshot, and Manuel. The dog person speaks up. What you did yesterday was not only reckless, but illegal. While Midoriya here had permission from Endeavor, and Yaoyorozu had permission from Edgeshot, Ida, you didn't. You committed a serious crime yesterday and there are severe consequences for that. Ida looked down. The dog person continued, however, we are willing to overlook this situation and the credit will be given to Endeavor, Edgeshot and Manuel for capturing Stain. And on the behalf of the whole police, I would like to thank you all for capturing Stain. Now I'll take my leave. With that the dog person left. Edgeshot then broke the silence. Yaoyorozu, you shouldn't have run off like that. But I'm proud of you. You and Midoriya managed to defeat and capture Stain. Yes, good job, you both, added Endeavor. Both Izuku and Momo became flustered because they were being praised by two very famous heroes. Alright, we'll leave you guys at it, Edgeshot said and looked at Endeavor, who just nodded, and they opened the door to go BTU before exiting. Endeavor added one more thing. Oh, and internships for all of you four has come to an end. Midoriya, you can pick up your stuff anytime from our house. They all talked some more when Ida and Shoto left. Just as they left, Izuku also said, I'm sorry Momo, but I've got to go. I'm sure my mom is very much worried. I'll text you later. Take care. Let's assume Momo's mother's name is Alice and her father's name is Q. 5 minutes after Izuku left, Momo's parents busted inside. Oh my gosh Momo, we were so worried. Alice yelled. We came here as fast as we could, our flight was delayed, said Q. Mom, Dad, I can't breathe. Oh, we're sorry Momo. We are just very worried, Q said. I'm fine, see. Momo said as she smiled. Now there's our daughter. Alice exclaimed as she smiled too. Just then the doctor entered the room. Are you Mr. and Mrs. Yaoyorozu? Yes, replied Alice. Good. So I am pleased to tell you that Momo is fine now and she can be discharged tomorrow. Thank you for treating our daughter, doctor. Q said happily. Oh, don't thank me, thank the Midoriya boy. Who? Q-it. He is my friend Mom and Dad. But why, doctor? Momo asked the doctor after answering her dad. Because if it wasn't for him, you'd be dead right now. How? Alice asked. You see, when your daughter arrived to the hospital, she had several cuts on her, including 2 deep gashes on her arm and her forehead. She had already lost a lot of blood and was unconscious. Our hospital had no blood, and by the time it would have arrived from the blood bank, it would have been too late. So Izuku Midoriya, who had brought your daughter to the hospital, donated 1.5 liters of his blood to your daughter. What? Momo, Alice, and Q screamed in unison. What? Momo, Alice, and Q screamed in unison. Yes, that is true. The boy had O blood type, so he was able to donate the blood. Momo was at loss of words. Why? Silence engulfed them as the doctor went out. No one knew what to say. Why, you got a great friend, Momo, Q finally said. He didn't even tell me. Momo whispered. What was that, Momo? Alice asked. It's just that he didn't even tell me and acted that everything was okay and fine, Momo said a little bit loudly. He probably didn't want you to feel guilty and he acted normally to make you at ease. The fact that he didn't say anything makes him even a better friend, Alice replied. But why? Why would he do it? It's better if you ask him that, Momo, instead of us telling you that. I'm sorry to interrupt you people, but visiting hours are over. A nurse opened the door and said, Well, Momo, be sure to thank him and take care. We'll be here first thing in the morning, Alice told Momo as she and Q exited the room. Meanwhile, as Izuku exited the hospital, he saw Toshinori coming towards the hospital and Izuku asked as he got close to him, Hey All Might, what are you doing here? Unknown to him, Inko was right beside Toshinori, who rushed towards Izuku. Izuku my baby she yelled as she hugged Izuku. I am fine mom see? Inko let go of Izuku and saw that her son was fine. Then she realized what Izuku just said a second ago. Toshinori, why did my son call you All Might? She said suspiciously. Izuku gulped. Oh no, he thought and Ben wasn't helping, you done messed up. Toshinori sighed and continued, I think it's time I tell you. But once we've reached your home. No one said a word during the whole car ride. When they finally reached home, Toshinori said, here goes nothing, and changed into All Might. I am All Might, he said, and Inko fainted. Oh no, Izuku said as he soon brought a glass of water and sprinkled some water on her. Inko opened her eyes to see that All Might was still there. So you are All Might? Yes, All Might said as he changed back to Small Might and explained Inko about the injury and how he couldn't do hero work for more than 1.5 hours. Wait, so you trained Izuku? All Might trained Izuku? Yes mom, I know right. I was super excited too. And now you two are dating. At that comment Inko started blushing. Why yes we are, Inko said quietly as she looked towards Toshinori who just nodded in agreement. Inko, I also request you to keep my secret to yourself. And I also want you to act normally towards me like you always do. Alright, she replied. Now Izuku, tell me all about your internship and how you fought Stain. I didn't play much role in the Stain incident but I'll tell you all about it, Izuku said as he started telling Toshinori. Inko just smiled at the two. Look at those two, acting like a father and a son. Momo was laying down on the bed and was lost in thought. Why did he do that? And today he was saying that he is great, even after he was missing 1.5 liters of his own blood. Momo couldn't take it anymore and curiosity got the better of her. She picked up her phone from the side table and messaged Izuku. A tear fell off of Momo's cheek. Why was she crying? She didn't know. But what she did know that she wasn't sad. In the morning, Momo's parents came to pick her up the first thing in the morning and took her home. A home sweet home, Momo said happily. Not for long. Tell me Momo, do you have the Midoriya's address? Alice asked. Momo herself had never gone to Izuku's house but he had given her his address. Yeah I think so, but why? We are going to their house in 30 minutes. So go and get ready. Izuku woke up and went outside his room to see Toshinori in the kitchen. All Might, what are you doing here? Oh, it was getting late and your mother asked me to stay here. Izuku narrowed his eyes, stood there for a moment then said, okay, so I'm going to train. Bye. Wait, I'll go train with you too. Their muscles don't come automatically, he said while changing into All Might and then back. Are you sure you'll be able to keep up with me, old man? Izuku smirked. Oh, you're on. Then Izuku ran out off the house with Toshinori right behind him. After an hour or two of training. That was some pant training, Toshinori said while wiping the sweat off his face. Today was fun. Who thought sparring the #1 hero would be fun? But we're home. Izuku walked inside followed by Toshinori. Seems like we have guests. Mom, we're home. Izuku said, shouting the last part. Well, I'm going to my room. If you need me, find me there, Izuku told Toshinori. Walked inside his room and into his bathroom to have a shower. Hey Inko, who are these people? Toshinori said as he entered the living room but then saw Momo there and was going to say hello young Yaoyorozu but refrained himself because he wasn't All Might right now. Oh hi Toshi, these are the Yaoyorozus. Do you know where Izuku is? Yes, he's in his room right now. We both had gone for training. I gotta say, Izuku's gotten a lot better since the last time we sparred. Hello Mr. and Mrs. Yaoyorozu, he told Inko then turned towards the Yaoyorozus. It's a pleasure to meet you Mr. Midoriya, Q greeted. Oh no, I'm not her husband, I'm her boyfriend. My name is Toshinori Yagi, nice to meet you, she said while smiling. Sorry, my bad, Q apologized. So, to what do I owe this visit? Inko asked. We've come here to thank your son Izuku, Alice exclaimed. But why? Inko asked. So he didn't tell you either, Q mumbled to himself. Tell me what? Inko was getting curious by the second. Your son donated 1.5 liters of his own blood to save the life of our daughter. He what? Inko was surprised. Izuku never ceases to amaze me, Toshinori said while grinning. So can you call your son so we can thank him ourselves? Cute. I'll get him, Momo said loudly from behind. Okay, his room is the first in the corridor. Inko pointed her towards Izuku's room. Momo opened the door and saw All Might posters everywhere. Even the bedsheet was of All Might. Momo smiled and shook her head. So cute, wait what? Momo shook her head vigorously to remove the thoughts. He isn't here. Then she heard the sound of water. He must be in the bathroom. Momo started to look around the room and saw a slightly burnt notebook on the table. She opened the notebook and saw what was written there. Ignore Kaken crossmark become a hero? She saw that become a hero had been erased and rewritten a lot of time. She felt sad. She turned the page and saw steps to become a hero. Ignore Kaken crossmark. He is in the same class as me and you. 2. What is my luck? Train heavy checkmark, get into you. Somehow without a quirk heavy checkmark, got a quirk, get real friends heavy checkmark graduate. Momo closed the notebook and sighed, poor Izuku. I just can't imagine what he has gone through. She kept the notebook back on the table and went and sat on Izuku's bed. She heard a door open and looked towards the bathroom. Luckily, Izuku came out wearing clothes. Oh hey Momo, Izuku said as he saw her, but then yelled, Momo? What are you doing here? Momo just ran and hugged him. No one has ever done such a thing for me. Thank you Izuku. Then she kissed Izuku on the cheek. That caught Izuku off guard. He was not expecting that. His face became more red than Kirishima's hair. Momo also blushed but said, everyone I is waiting for you outside. I'll go now. With that Momo exited the room. Izuku.exe has stopped working. Automatic reboot initiated. Rebooting. Done. Izuku's hand went up to the place where she kissed him. What just happened? That just happened. Now go outside and see who's waiting. Izuku went to the living room to see his mom, Toshinori, Momo and 2 other people who he assumed were Momo's parents. Ah, so you are Izuku. I am Yaoyorozu. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir, Izuku said while bowing. Haha, the pleasure is all mine. Wait. Aren't you the kid who won the sports festival? Yes, sir. Congrats on that. I saw you in the finals. It was a good fight. Thank you. I should be thanking you, boy. You saved our daughter's life. I just did what anyone would have done. Ha, so you're modest too. They talked for a while. Then Alice said, this is the second time your son has saved our daughter, you know. What do you mean? You see, Ms. Midoriya, Alice was cut off by Inko. Please, call me Inko. So you see, Inko, our children met years ago in the park? Is that right? Yes, he saved Momo from getting bullied if I'm not wrong. Unfortunately, we had to move after a week. You have no idea how much Momo missed him. Isn't that right, Momo? But Momo didn't reply. She blushing madly. So tell me, Izuku, what do you want as a reward? A house? A car? Money? No, sir, I don't want anything. Come on. There must be something you want. No, sir. Your daughter's friendship is enough of a reward as it is. Q and Alice both looked at Izuku with an amused expression. Ok then, we'll be taking our leave now. Thank you again, Izuku, Q said as he got up. See you at school, Momo, Izuku said as he showed them out. It was the first day of school after the internships. The internship was so manly, Kirishima exclaimed. Yes, I had fun too, Kaminari said. But those 3, Mina said while pointing to Izuku, Momo and Ida, had the real experience. They fought with Stain. Tokoyami, what happened to your arm? Izuku asked as he saw Tokoyami's arm in a cast. Oh this, I fell down the stairs and I fractured my arm. Yeah, that's it, Tokoyami replied. Okay then, I hope it returns back to normal fast. Izuku said as he smiled. Hey Shinso. How was your internship? Izuku then turned to Shinso and asked him. Oh, it was good. Mr. Aizawa and I trained and in the end he gave me this scarf which is just like his. Mr. Aizawa interned you? Well yeah, since both of our quirks doesn't help us in fighting. Understandable. Bakugo walked into the room and all eyes went to him. What are you all looking at? PFD haha your hair. Kaminari and Siro started laughing. Shut the F up. It's not my fault. I can't fix it, but they kept on laughing. Bakugo got mad. I said shut up. His hair went to normal. There goes Back to normal, Kirishima told Bakugo. So Yamamoto, Midoriya and Ida, how was it like, fighting Stain? Deku is supposed to be a pebble in my path. Just a FING pebble. But he keeps doing shitty things to stand out, Bakugo thought. He had been avoiding Deku lately because he had been defeated by him. By him. He just wanted Deku to go back and be the bug he was. But no. Then this whole Stain business. He had enough. Oi shitty Deku, don't you think you're better than me just because you got involved in a fight with Stain? I'm sure you stepped in just to show how much of a hero you are and got your ass beat up. You should be happy Endeavor saved your sorry ass. Izuku was about to say something but Momo said something first. Momo didn't like Bakugo. Even before Izuku told her, she didn't like him because of his behavior and language. But now after knowing what all he did, she hated him. So when Bakugo started saying things, she couldn't control herself. How about you shut the F up, Bakugo? There was pure venom in her voice. You are all bark and no bite. If you think you are so high and mighty, then why don't you effing show it? Did Yaoyorozu just swear? Kaminari asked, shocked. Yes, I have never heard her swear, Mina said, equally shocked. F you say to me, ponytail? Bakugo was fuming. You heard me right. That's it. Bakugo swung his arm to punch Momo, but before he could, he was punched on his face and he fell back. Everyone saw Izuku punch Bakugo. Before Bakugo could say something, a voice came from outside the class. I am walking through the door like a normal person. Young Bakugo, why are you on the floor? No reason, she said while getting up and glaring towards Izuku. Nice punch. Thanks. Izuku whispered to Momo. Thanks? Momo just smiled back at him. Anyways, children, it's time for another heroics lesson. Meet me in Ground Alpha. So you all must be wondering what we are going to do today. It's a race. A rescue race. I am going to be standing in the middle and whoever reaches me first is going to win. This is also going to be in groups. Let's see who's going first. Antasiro. Izuku Midoriya. Tenya Ida. Masahiro Ojiro. Alright then, head to your starting positions please. Siro is gonna win easily because of his quirk. Oh no, it's gonna be Ojiro because of his tail. Their classmates starting debating whether Siro, Ojiro or Ida would win. Momo and Todoroki started laughing. What's so funny, guys? Minus. Are you forgetting that Izuku is also there? Momo asked. No, but his chances are low. He can't use that fast alien because of the terrain. Okay then if you think so. But Izuku is going to win. Yup, Shoto chimed in. Wait, did you just call him Izuku? Uraraka and Mina asked as they realized what Momo had said. But before they could question Momo anymore, All Might's voice boomed, begin. The class watched as Siro used his quirk to fling himself. Ojiro was doing something similar but with his tail, while Ida was going through the streets. They saw Izuku transform into Heat Blast and everyone was confused. What is he going to do with fire? Mina asked to no one in particular. Then to everyone's shock, he started flying just like Bakugo but at a much faster speed. Bakugo realized this and yelled, How dare he use my technique to fly? Izuku reached near All Might, and flipped and landed in front of All Might and punched the ground. We have a winner. Cool trick Midori bro. Thanks Kirishima. While I was wasting my time with Genist, Deku learnt new tricks. God damn it. Why does this keep happening, Bakugo thought. Well done young Midoriya. Now the next group please take their places. An hour later, in girls' locker room. So Momo Mina said to bring the attention of Momo. Izuku what about him? She asked confused. First name basis with him. Is there something you're not telling us? Uraraka got tensed. And nope, just two good friends calling each other by their first name. Uraraka then let out a sigh of relief. Everyone is like, do you hear that? All turned to Jiro who was looking around for the source of the voice and pointed towards a hole. Wait, I'll do something, Jiro said and plugged one of her jacks into her phone and the other one into the wall. Same time, in boys' locker room. Hey guys, check this out. Kaminari said excitedly and pointed towards a hole. I present you the gift from the previous generation of pervs, a direct hole to the girls' locker room. As soon as Kaminari said that, Izuku's mind betrayed him and started thinking of Momo changing. No. What? Why? What the F brain? Why her? Izuku then shook his head vigorously. Are you alright, Midoriya? It asked. Yeah, sorry I zoned out there. So who wants to take a peek? Get in line because I'll be the first, Kaminari said as he moved towards the hole. Man, I can't wait to see Mina's curvy body, Azui's surprising assets, Toru's floating underwear and Yaoyorozu's budash. He was stopped as Izuku hit him with OFA 100% and in the process, breaking his arm. He hit him so hard that the wall broke and he sent Kaminari straight into the lion's den. For F's sake, Kaminari, see what you made me do. Don't you remember what happened to my Netta? If you do this sheet once again, you won't be able to walk again. All the girls were listening to Kaminari when he came crashing suddenly and saw Izuku on the other side glaring at him. What Izuku didn't realize that he was still shirtless though all the girls were wearing clothes. Uraraka saw Izuku and got a nosebleed. Momo blushed. I just want to touch those abs. What? No. Thank you, Midoriya/Izuku. Every girl thanked him. Izuku realized he was shirtless and suddenly wore his shirt. What happened here? All Might asked as he stepped inside the boys' locker room. I heard some noise and came to check it out. It was me, All Might, Izuku admitted. Follow me, young Midori. When they reached the staff lounge, he turned back into Small Might inside. So what was that, Izuku? Wait, what happened to your arm? Kaminari was making some perverted comments about Momo and the others and was going to peep at them using a hole. So I punched him using OFA 100% and broke my arm. Well, go to Recovery Girl and get yourself fixed up. Don't tell your mother about this, okay? Thank you, All Might. Izuku walked to the clinic and Kaminari laying down on a bed with bandages all over him and Izuku started feeling guilty. I am sorry, Kaminari, I went too far. No, Midoriya. It's all my fault. I won't do such things again. Why do you do these things? Recovery Girl exclaimed as she smacked Izuku in the head. Awa. Recovery Girl, can you fix my arm too? You are lucky that I am in a happy mood today, RG said as she kissed Izuku's arm. Give your arm a proper rest for a day or two. Thank you, Recovery Girl. See ya later, Kaminari. Midoriya, are you alright? Bro, are you getting detention? I'm fine, guys. All Might didn't say anything and I then went to Recovery Girl's clinic so she could fix my arm, Izuku replied, calming everyone down. What happened to your arm? Momo asked. Oh, when I punched Kaminari, I accidentally used 100% of my quirk and broke my arm. Izuku said while scratching the back of his neck. You idiot! How many times are you going to hurt yourself? Momo scolded him. Sorry, Izuku said as he put his hands in the air surrendering. Momo was sitting on her bed. Why am I thinking so much about Izuku? Does this feeling mean something? I'll have to ask Mom. She got up and went to her mother's room. Mom, can I talk to you for a minute? Of course, dear. What is it you want to talk about? Well, it's about a friend of mine. She can't stop thinking about a particular boy and asked me for advice, but I don't know anything, so I came to ask you. Alice straight away knew there was no friend and she was talking about herself. Tell me, Momo, how does your friend feel around that boy? She feels very happy whenever the boy is around and feels like the safest person on the planet. I see. Does your friend feel a warmth in her chest whenever the boy is around? Momo nodded. And does that warmth go away when he isn't around? She nodded again. Momo dear, that means that your friend is in love with the boy. L love www? Yes. Tell me, Momo, is the boy Izuku Midoriya? She nodded subconsciously. And is your friend's name Momo Yaoyorozu? Yes. Wait, what? Alice chuckled at her reaction. Momo, it's perfectly normal to have feelings towards a boy. Plus, in this case, the boy has already proved himself enough. So you already have my approval. Momo still kept silent. So what are you going to do about this? Nothing. Why? Because I don't think he feels the same way. Of course he does, I can see it in his face. If he doesn't, then it's his loss. But Momo, you will have to confess to him, otherwise you'll go mad. I'll give you till the end of summer, and if you haven't confessed to him till then, I'll start intervening. Okay, Mom. Thank you, you are the best, Momo thanked her and then hugged her. Weeks passed by and nothing interesting happened to 1A. The most interesting thing that happened was that Aizawa was able to beat Nezu in chess. So children, the finals are coming closer, just a week left. It has been decided that the students who pass both the written and the practical part of the exam will get to go to a summer camp on behalf of the school. Good luck to all. So Momo, shall we go to our study spot later today? Izuku asked Momo. Okay. I have gotten more tests for both of us to do, Momo replied. Izuku and Momo had been studying together a lot lately. While Izuku used to study by himself and got good grades, it was a whole another level with Momo. She studied so much. Because of her help, Izuku was second in the class in terms of grades. Bakugo didn't like that. Izuku had surpassed Bakugo in terms of grades too. Yamamoto, can you help me study? Please? Mina begged. Yes, Yaoyorozu, can you help me too? Kaminari added. Me three? Jiro pleaded. You all want my help? I'd love to help you study. I'll have my mom prepare the Great Hall too, Momo said excitedly. Izuku saw her excited face and smiled. In the end, most of the class agreed to come to Momo's house today to start studying. Izuku, will you come too? Please? Momo asked while making a puppy dog face. How can I say no to that face? He sighed. All right, I'll be there. Listen, Deku, I don't care that you are getting good every day at everything. But don't you think for even a second that you'll hold that position for long. I'm gonna come on the top and you'll fall so behind that you won't be able to see me anywhere. Bakugo told Izuku. I think you should really work on your obsession of Mika-chan. And you should just accept the reality that I've gotten better than you. Izuku said in a deadly calm voice. Bakugo scowled and went out of the class. Izuku was standing in front of Momo's house. I am an hour early, I hope that she doesn't mind. The reason Izuku was early because he had anticipated to reach her house in half an hour. Sure, he still would be early, but an hour early was a little too much. But as soon as he got out of his own house, Ben reminded him to use XR8 and thus there he was. He rang the bell. Who is it? Came the familiar voice from the intercom and Izuku answered. It's me, Izuku. Sorry, I'm a little early. Oh, Izuku, it's fine, just wait a second. Then after a minute, the gate opened and he saw Momo standing there. Izuku waved his hand at her. Come on in, she said, and Izuku followed her inside where he was greeted by a confused Alice, Momo's mother. Who is it, Momo? Oh, it's Izuku, she answered. I thought your friends weren't supposed to come for an hour? Before Momo could open her mouth, Izuku replied, I'm sorry, Mrs. Yaoyorozu, I'm early. I didn't expect to reach here this fast. If it's a problem, I'll go right away. He had guilt in his voice. Again, before Momo could say anything, her mother beat her to it. Oh no, it's not a problem, I was just confused. Have fun, she said as she walked away from the children. They both just stood there staring at each other until they realized that they both were staring and then looked away blushing. Susu, Izuku said awkwardly while looking down at the floor. What do you want to do? I don't know. Your choice. Izuku thought for a moment. Hey, you've never tasted my sandwiches, right? Nope. Great, how about I make you some? Okay, come on, hey, race the kitchen. She took Izuku's hand and led him to the kitchen. So are they good? Momo asked as she watched Izuku putting a lot of random food, and honestly she was a little scared. I have been told that eating them feels like heaven, but then again it was my mom who said that and she could be saying that just for my sake, so I don't know. Well then I can't wait to taste it. After finishing making them, Izuku noticed he made a lot of them. I'm sorry, I kinda made a lot of them. It's not a problem. Now I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little scared seeing what all unique stuff you put in it, but to heck with it, she said as she picked up a sandwich and put it inside her mouth. Izuku was a little tense to see her reaction. Her face first showed surprise, then happiness. This could. It literally feels like heaven. I love it. The front doorbell rang. I wonder who it is? Momo mumbled. Might be one of our classmates. She hummed in response. They both went to the door, but Momo went to open it. After a minute she returned and Izuku asked, So who was it? Momo stepped aside and Izuku's jaw dropped. All Might / Izuku? Izuku saw Aizawa and All Might standing there, and Aizawa was pretty surprised to see Izuku there too, but just smirked as he had seen how the two had gotten closer after the festival. What are you doing here? Hey, why are you copying me? Stop that. Izuku and All Might both said simultaneously. Momo started laughing and Aizawa chuckled a little too. Aizawa, did you just laugh? Am I dreaming? Shut it all might. We are here on official business Yaoyorozu. Can we talk to your parents? Aizawa asked Momo. Yeah, follow me please. Momo led them to the living room and asked them to wait for a minute. Izuku also took a seat and All Might asked him, So what are you doing here, Izuku? Oh, many of our classmates were supposed to come today to study. I just came a little bit early. I see. Their conversation was interrupted by Alice. All Might and Eraserhead, to what do I owe the pleasure? Momo came behind her with some tea and sandwiches. Izuku noticed them and exclaimed, Wait, are those Dash? Momo just grinned widely at him and put the tray on the table. Mrs. Yaoyorozu, you see we have come with a proposal from UA. The school has decided to set up dorms for the students. The students will be living there. One thing is that it will ensure the safety of the children as teachers will also be living in an apartment beside the dorm. The second thing is that the students will reach school on time as it's only a 5-minute walk from the school. So Mrs. Yaoyorozu, do you give permission for your daughter to live in these dorms? Alice was about to say something but before that she took a bite out of the sandwich. Oh my god. Who made this? This is so good. Izuku did, Momo said proudly. Now Aizawa and Toshinori were intrigued and also took a bite from their respective sandwiches. Okay Midoriya, this is amazing, Aizawa said and All Might nodded in agreement. Thank you, Izuku said nervously. Sorry for getting distracted, and the answer to your question is yes, I allow Momo to stay in the dorms. Is that all? Yes, that'll be all. Oh, and Izuku, I have talked with your mother and she has also given permission. We'll be taking our leave then, thank you. After they left, Izuku said, Life in dorms is going to be interesting for sure. I'm excited. Meanwhile, say Aizawa, you didn't look so surprised to see Izuku there? Toshinori, back in his small might form, asked him. Yeah, it was bound to happen sometime, he replied. What do you mean? You see, I've been observing these two and they have gotten a lot closer since the festival. I wouldn't be surprised if they were dating, Aizawa explained with an amused expression. Was all Toshinori could say. He will have to talk to Izuku about it. A few minutes after the teachers left, the bell rang again. Who is it? Momo asked through the intercom. Hey Yamamoto, it's me, Mina, and others too. I'll go get them, Izuku told Momo as he went outside to welcome his classmates. Midoriya, do you live here? Kaminari asked. What? I arrived a little bit early, no need to jump to conclusions, Izuku replied. Sorry, my bad. Well, come on in, guy. I can't do this. I'm going to fail, Mina exclaimed. It's alright, let's take a break, Izuku said and others nodded in agreement. So guys, did All Might and Aizawa-sensei visit you too? Momo asked her friends. No, why would they? Throw us. Apparently, Irae is setting up dorms and we are going to live in them, Izuku answered. That's so cool. I cannot wait to live with you guys, Mina said excitedly. It was time to leave. Momo went to see off everyone but told Izuku to wait for a minute as she wanted to tell him something. So Momo, you wanted to talk to me about something? Yeah. She trailed off. Izuku looked at her expectantly. Tell him. Her brain was urging her. I don't know how to say this. Ring, she was cut off. Sorry Momo, I have to pick this, it's my mom. She knew she lost her chance. A minute later, Izuku apologized again. Sorry again, she was asking where I was and when I'd be coming back. So, what were you saying? And nothing important? Are you sure? It sounded pretty important to me. No, it's alright, Momo sighed. Bye Izuku. Bye Momo. Momo went inside and saw her mother looking at her expecting an answer. So, did you tell him? No. It's okay, tell him some other day. Now I think you should start packing as you have to move the day after tomorrow. What? I thought it was after exams? No, I just got a message. So hurry up and start packing. The students were standing in front of the dorms with Aizawa standing in front of them. Let's go, he said calmly and went inside and the students followed him. Aizawa then told everyone their rooms and then went away. Izuku took his stuff to his room and started unpacking. After 2 to 3 hours Izuku was finished. He called him mom and told her that he was done and the dorm was wonderful. His mother told him to sleep on time and then cut the call. In the common room, Everyone was sitting, tired because of setting up their rooms. I have an idea. Why don't we all show each other our rooms and then vote for the best? Some were uneasy but ultimately they agreed. Wait, where are Midoriya and Bakugo? Kaminari asked. Bakugo went to sleep early but I don't know about Midori bro, Kirishima answered. Come on, let's bring Midoriya, Mina proposed. No, let Izuku be. If he wanted to come out, won't he already be here? Shoto stated. They looked inside each other's rooms and ultimately made their decision and voted for Sato, Sugar Rush guy. But Mina was still not satisfied. I won't sleep today unless I've seen everyone's room. Before anyone could say anything, she went running towards Izuku's room and others followed to stop her. They reached Mina just stood there and when Momo asked, "Why are you standing here?" "She'll listen," she said while bringing her finger to her lips. At that moment, Jiro plugged one of her jacks on Izuku's door and other in her phone so that everyone could listen. Well, everyone stiffened. They weren't expecting Izuku to be singing. They silently listened. "I'm no Superman, I can't take your hand. Can't fly you anywhere you want to go. I can't read your mind like a billboard sign. And tell you everything you want to hear, but I'll be your hero. I can be everything you need. If you're the one for me. Like gravity, I will be unstoppable. I believe in destiny. I may be an ordinary guy without his soul. But if you're the one for me, then I'll be your hero. Could you be the one? Could you be the one? Could you be the one for me? Then I'll be your hero. Could you be the one? Could you be the one? Could you be the one for me? Then I'll be your hero. Searching high and low. Trying every road. But if I see your face, I won't ignore it. I put my trust to fate. That too will come away. And if it's right, it's undeniable. I'll be your hero. I can be everything you need. If you're the one for me. Like gravity, I will be unstoppable. I believe in destiny. I may be an ordinary guy without his soul. But if you're the one for me, then I'll be your hero. Could you be the one? Could you be the one? Could you be the one for me? I'll be your hero. Could you be the one? Could you be the one? Could you be the one for me? Yeah, I'll be your hero. So incredible, some kind of miracle. That when it's meant to be, I will become a hero. So I'll wait for you. Yeah, I'll be your hero. I can be everything you need. If you're the one for me. Like gravity, I will be unstoppable. I believe in destiny. I may be an ordinary guy without his soul. But if you're the one for me, then I'll be your hero. Could you be the one? Could you be the one? Could you be the one for me? Then I'll be your hero. Could you be the one? Could you be the one? Could you be the one for me? Then I'll be your hero. Izuku stopped singing and then suddenly his door opened and Mina exclaimed, "Midoriya, that was great." Izuku was shocked. He didn't know that others were listening. Oh no, this is a disaster. Now you were good. I'm sure they are all going to praise you. How much did you hear? Izuku asked, trying not to freak out. All of it, Mina said sheepishly. Izuku then noticed that every one of his classmate was there too. Did all of you hear that? They nodded. I didn't know you could sing, Midoriya. Ida exclaimed. When everybody calmed down after the shock that Izuku could sing, Mina asked another question. So Midoriya, who was Thing's song for? With a smirk on her face. Izuku held a confused expression. What do you mean, Ishido? Well, that song was obviously written for a certain someone, she implied. I don't know. The lyrics just came to me and I wrote this song. Sure, her voice was dripped in sarcasm. I think we shouldn't bother him anymore, guys. Let's go back, Ida instructed everyone. When people were going out, Izuku mouthed thank yous to Ida, who smiled. But Izuku laid down on his bed. His mind drifted to when Mina asked him as to who the song was for. Did I write the song for someone? I have only written 3 songs ever. One was when I was 4 and I got to know I was quirkless. It was a sad song. Well, it wasn't a good song, but it was a song. After that I had written another one when I was in middle school named In My Blood, by Shawn Mendes, and now this song. If I think about it, the only times I've written a song was when one of my emotions was at its peak. The first 2 times it was sadness. What could it be this time? This is kind of a love song, isn't it? Then does it mean I'm in love? Who could it be? Uraraka? No, not her. Ishido? Nope. Azui? No P. Jiro? Hagakure? No. Who is left? Oh yeah. Momo? He though for a minute. Realization hit him so hard he fell off his bed. I have fallen for Momo Yaoyorozu? Finally. My god, it took you so long. Wait, you knew? I have known for very long, it's just that you are so dense. Why didn't you tell me then? There are some things in life that you have to realize on your own. Now that you've realized, when are you going to something? I don't know if she even likes me back. Oh man, why are you such an idiot? It's obvious that she likes you back. How do you know? I know like I knew that you liked her. So do something in the coming days. I don't know. I'll see. The students of Class 1A were standing outside of testing grounds for the practical part of the exam. Every student was ready to fight the robots. All right class, listen up. All eyes turned towards Aizawa and the other teachers. The original plan was to make you students fight robots, but what's the fun in that? So now, teams of 2 will be formed and they will be up against one of us teachers. Most of the class paled. Aizawa just smiled evilly. So the teams are as follows. Sato and Kirishima versus Cementos. Tsuyu and Tokoyami versus Ectoplasm. Ida and Ojiro versus Power Loader. Todoroki and Yaoyorozu versus me, Eraserhead. Uraraka and Aoyama versus 13. Ashido and Kaminari versus Nezu. Koda and Jiro versus Present Mike, Hagakure and Shoji versus Snipe. Siro, Shinso and Bakugo versus Midnight. Yes, I know I said teams of 2, but this is an exception. Izuku was listening carefully to the teams and was waiting for his name. Oh no. Of course he'd do this to me. And in last, Midoriya versus Dash. Me. All Might appeared from somewhere. Aizawa continued, it was his personal request to go against you Midoriya. Best of luck to everyone. Some of the students were still getting over the shock that their classmate had to battle the #1 hero himself. Oh, and every teacher will be wearing weighted bracelets to give you children a fair chance. Every team will be given a handcuff. They have to use the handcuff to handcuff the respective teacher. Or you could just try to pass through the gate to win/pass. You will only be given 15 minutes. Sato and Kirishima kept trying to smash through Cementos walls, but the more walls they broke, the more Cementos created. Ultimately, Sato and Kirishima got tired and that's when Cementos knocked them out. So they both failed. Tokoyami and Tsuyu were met with Ectoplasm's clones. Tokoyami got overwhelmed by the amount of clones and he was going to lose, but Tsuyu smacked the clones with her tongue. They managed to get past the clones to be met with the real Ectoplasm. Ectoplasm then makes a giant clone of himself. Tokoyami and Tsuyu get trapped in the giant Ectoplasm's ectoplasm, no typo. Unable to do anything, Tokoyami commands Dark Shadow to escape as that may be their only chance to pass. Dark Shadow agrees but Ectoplasm kicks Dark Shadow away. Tsuyu then proceeded to regurgitate, I didn't even know this was a word, the handcuff. Ectoplasm didn't notice this. Tokoyami called Dark Shadow back and gave the handcuff to him. Dark Shadow takes it and goes back to fight Ectoplasm. Dark Shadow attacks with its claw but Ectoplasm blocks its attack with a kick. However, when Ectoplasm looks down, he sees that his one leg has been caught in a handcuff and thus the match ends. They both pass. Ida carries Ojiro and sprints through the gate and they both pass. Shoto tells Momo to keep making something so that if she stops making that thing, that would mean that Aizawa was near them. Momo doesn't notice that her quirk has stopped working before it's too late. Shoto is captured. Aizawa then used his scarf to wrap Momo and bring her to him. Is that it? You both are recommended students. I expected better. But Momo had her own plans. She created a sharp blade from her back which she would use to cut the scarf. Aizawa's eyes widened as to how she cut his scarf, but before he could do anything, Momo punched him straight in the face. She then used her shurikens to pin him to the wall. Then brought out the handcuff and handcuffed Aizawa. He grinned, not bad Yaoyorozu, not bad. She then rescued Shoto and they both passed. 13 creates a black hole, causing Aoyama and Uraraka to hold onto a guardrail. Aoyama fires his naval laser from his knees at 13 but the attempt fails as 13 easily sucks away the lasers. Achiko tries to think of a plan, causing Yuga to surmise that Achiko is thinking about what Izuku would do. Yuga then asks Achiko if she loves Izuku, which shocks Achiko and makes her blush, causing her to let go of the guardrail out of embarrassment. As a result, Achiko gets drawn towards 13, who then attacks 13 and handcuff her. They both pass. Kaminari and Ishido fail miserably. Jiro and Koda are overwhelmed by Present Mic's annoying voice. Koda uses his quirk Ani voice to command Bugs to go and cover Present Mic. Present Mic, being scared by Bugs, isn't able to do anything, and Koda and Jiro pass. Hagakure and Shoji manage to pass. Bakugo refused to cooperate with Shinso and Siro. Step aside, you two. I'll defeat Midnight easily, she won't even be able to touch me. Bakugo, come back here and listen to our plan. Shinso shouted to him. Shut you dash. Shinso activated his quirk on Bakugo. Just shut up and come here. You will listen to our plan so that all of us can pass. He then deactivated his quirk and Bakugo grunted. Alright, so here's the plan, Siro started. Bakugo, you will distract Midnight, while me and Shinso will go from behind and knock her out. Bakugo walked off towards Midnight and started shouting stuff. I guess that means he is following the plan. So let's go and do our part. Shinso and Siro tiptoed behind Midnight, but she was no amateur. She turned behind and tore off her sleeve and activated her quirk. You save yourself, Shinso, Siro said as he used his tape to throw Shinso. You extras can't do one thing correctly. Fine, I'll do it myself. Bakugo muttered and wrapped a handkerchief around his mouth and nose and ran towards Midnight, but she whipped him, which sent him back. Shinso came close, thought quickly and asked, Are you a sadomasochist, Midnight? She looked towards him, knowing his quirk, just smiled, and tried to whip him too. Think, Shinso, think. Oh yeah, this'll get her. I bet you're still a virgin. What? And dash. Shinso smiled and walked towards her and handcuffed her. To his surprise, Bakugo grinned and said, Nice work. Shinso and Bakugo passed, but Siro was undetermined for now. Everyone who was watching started laughing, even the teachers, as all of them could hear whatever was being spoken. That kid sure knows what's up, Power Loader said, and earned a few snickers. Finally, it was Izuku's turn. He was standing in the city in front of All Might. Are you ready? Everyone except Aizawa, Momo and Shoto were expecting Izuku to be scared and ask All Might to be easy on him, but to their surprise, Izuku started laughing, stopped, and said, Bring it on. This kid is either too stupid or too brave. I will go with too stupid, Snipe said. I wouldn't underestimate him, Snipe, Aizawa stated. Eraserhead defending a student? Who are you and what have you done with Shota? Aizawa. Haha, very funny. All Might, do me a favor and remove those bracelets. Izuku yelled at him. Is the boy mad? It seems like he has a death wish. Snipe was seriously doubting Izuku. So manly. Guess who said that? All Might looked at Izuku's face to see if he was serious. He then slowly took off his weights. Izuku transformed into 4 arms and ran towards All Might. Whoa, the kid has a transformation quirk? Present Might gasped. All Might waited for Izuku to strike first. He saw Izuku coming towards him and easily blocked that punch. He then punched Izuku in the solar plexus a little too strongly. Izuku went in to punch All Might again but was thrown away far out of All Might's sight. Okay, so brute force really isn't the way here. What could I do? Wait, what is this I'm snading around? Izuku looked around to see scraps of technology, some broken, some not. This must be where they throw the failed stuff from support course. Then a light bulb turned on inside his head. He transformed into gray matter and looked around, observing all the things. He then started rummaging through stuff to make a device. What is he doing? This is no time for dumpster diving, Kaminari asked, but no one answered him as they were too busy watching the match. After 5 minutes, Izuku successfully made a Tazing Devide. And then he changed into upgrade and possessed the device. Then he started going towards where he came from. All Might, unfortunately, didn't seem to look down as he was finding Izuku. He was suddenly shocked. It stopped. All Might was thankful for that. Why did it stop? Because Omnitrix's time was up and Izuku was now right there, crouching in front of his feet. All Might picked him up and placed him in front of him. That was you? He said, referring to the shock. Kinda. I made a tazzing device and then shocked you. Izuku tried punching him again, but All Might kept blocking. Izuku then thought and then finally said something between his punches. You know, All Might, yesterday I was talking to my mom and she mentioned that she loved you. All Might stopped whatever he was doing for a second. His face became emotionless. Izuku saw this as his chance and then used OFA 100% in his arm and punched All Might. He went flying away. The shock, and this punch had really taken all out of All Might and he fainted. F in the chat. Okay. So, Momo, Shoto and Aizawa had expected Izuku to escape somehow, but this? Not in their wildest dreams. A student knocking All Might out. Everyone's jaws dropped as they saw All Might lying on the floor and Izuku standing beside him with the handcuff in his hand. Izuku made his way to where everyone was. Thankfully, Recovery Girl was there too, so she fixed his arm before smacking him. He looked at everyone and said, "What are you all looking at?" They were still looking at him when Snipe finally said, "You knocked All Might out." Well, I couldn't have done it if all the stuff from support course wasn't there. And in the last moments too, I distracted All Might by saying something which caught him off guard and I saw that as an opening and punched him with all my strength. Plus he was holding back too. Just take the compliment, Izuku, Momo told him. Congratulations, Izuku Midoriya. You single-handedly defeated All Might. Although it is true that you may not have been successful if all of the support course wasn't there, it still shows that one can use his surroundings for his advantage and over that it is no child's play to create a taser out of all that garbage. Now that the exams are over, everyone can go back to the dormitories. Although the result is clear, it'll officially be announced tomorrow. Thank you. What was that alien which you turned into? Momo asked Izuku on their way to the dorms. Gray matter? No, the other one. Oh, yeah, that was upgrade. However much cool that one is, I've never really got to use it. I can basically possess technology and make it more advanced. My whole body is gelatinous too. Any other aliens you haven't showed us? Izuku nodded and replied, yeah. But I think I've told about Wildmutt and Ripjaws to you before. Yeah, you did. Ben mate, where the hell were you during my exam? I was there watching you. Why didn't you help me? Did you need help? Well, no. But what if I did need help? Then I would have helped you, plus it was your exam, not mine. Fair enough. Izuku was sitting with his friends in the common room and they were talking. Suddenly out of nowhere, All Might appeared. Ah, Izuku, there you are. Mind if I talk to you for a minute? Sure, Izuku replied and they both went outside and All Might changed into Small Might. I can't believe that you actually beat me. Izuku narrowed his eyes. What's the big deal? You were holding back a lot. Izuku, I wasn't holding back. Oh, I am really proud of you. I had requested this match to see what you would do and you actually managed to knock me out. You are still just a child and you beat the #1 hero. Now that I think about it, you will be more powerful than I ever was. Your mother would be really proud as well. Well anyways, I gotta go now and congratulations again on beating me.